All right, well, welcome everybody to another episode of Bottom of the Bill.
How's it going?
So the setting looks a little different. We got a brand new studio, guys.
Where am I?
We're leveling up, as the kids say these days.
We invaded.
Yeah,
actually.
I'm just joking. We actually just invaded.
Yeah.
Jacob Hudson,
But it's ours now.
the co-owner and operator of Pine Studio,
Who's
here
he's
in
our
Murray
guest
Hill.
too.
Yeah, he's also our guest.
Yeah, we're in his home.
We're in his home. He was kind enough to let us use his studio to do the podcast today because Billy's house decided to just turn into literal hell.
It literally pitched a fit.
90 degrees.
Yeah, it's pretty hot in there.
Yeah, so we couldn't do the podcast here today. So anyways, Jacob is a producer. He's a musician. And he's got a lot of amazing things going on for the
hell of a
Jacksonville
nice
community.
guy.
Yeah, the conversation today was really great. We kind of went down the fucking rabbit holes on this one.
Yes, we did.
Not a whole lot of, I mean, there was some good music talk for sure.
It was all about music.
Well, we talked about like existentialism and...
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Where was I?
Having a crisis, I will say. Anyways, yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in, deciding to watch with us. Enjoy the episode.
New episode of Bottom of the Bill starts now.
Oh, wait, I forgot to plug the our documentary. We're doing a watch party July 26th for our documentary.
Nice.
We're releasing a documentary documenting our last album.
That's very tight.
Yeah, it was fun. I
so hard to write.
I edited it myself and like produced it myself. And it
Oh,
was
dang. Okay.
It's surprisingly good.
Yeah?
That's what I keep saying.
This is Bottom of the Bill, where we talk about the modern grind of a musician.
Album cycle.
Hold on, Bill. Give me a second, man. Because we don't know what we're talking about.
Spotify playlist.
You keep interrupting me. That's not how we discussed it. Just give me a second, man. We invite established artists
Festival lineups.
Can I just get my stuff out real quick? We invite established artists on to share their strategy to success.
Marketing strategies.
The premier do-it-yourself podcast.
Hashtag DIY.
Ah, screw it. This is Bottom of the Bill. We are here at Pine Studio.
Yeah.
Because Billy decided to turn his apartment into Satan's taint.
Yeah.
Or his house. Sorry, it's a single family home. He just decided to turn it into Satan's taint.
I didn't decide.
You decided to.
Why would I decide?
You tell me, bud.
I should have. Maybe you can put it in post or whatever, and I'll give you the readouts. But yeah, it was 91 degrees in my house today.
Yeah.
AC's getting fixed, but we had to get out.
But I want to say thank you to Jacob Hudson, the co-owner and operator of
That's correct.
Pine Studio. Got that right. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
For letting us use his space to do this interview today. This looks fucking dope. I think we're just going to come back and do this every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday we got in the contract.
Yeah.
$10,000 a week is pretty chill.
$10,000. Well, I'm thinking more exposure points, but you know we'll work it out later.
Yeah,
We'll talk
fine.
about the
Yeah.
logistics.
Yeah, life
later on.
gives you lemons though. This place is amazing. I love your studio.
It's a small investment for you if we're being honest.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing you a favor.
Yeah.
That's what we should do from now.
Honestly.
We're just a satellite podcast, and we invade your house and we interview you.
Yeah, I want to do this setup every single time. That'd be dope.
What did you set up?
I was bringing
It's more
my
of a producer role.
I was bringing my big PE.
producer role.
I was bringing my big PE to the table today.
That's
you know,
right, yeah.
big producer energy.
That's right.
Well, we can let that. Yeah, just let that sit there for a second. Just sit with that for a
because
second.
I- use that.
I
Yeah,
was
live with
thinking
it.
big physical education, and I was like,
Big physical
a big
education.
PE day would be the parachute day.
I do like to go to the gym a
Oh.
lot.
Did you have the parachute in Miami?
We did when I was in karate. We did that, but we never did that in school. I went to public school, bro.
I went to public school in Kentucky. We still had a parachute day.
Man, that's impressive.
Yeah, I know, right?
We
I was
might have-
homeschooled. I didn't have it, so.
You were homeschooled?
Yeah.
I was homeschooled for 1 year too.
Oh, cool. What year?
8th grade.
Okay, I was K through 12, my guy.
Oh, wow, you were
Fucking
homeschooled?
Yeah,
Christ.
I am introvert as hell.
You're surpangly
Stable?
apt at
Yeah,
socially
like
apt.
conversation.
Yeah, that's yeah, and stable too. What was your homeschooling situation like?
Let's see. I had 2 siblings, so older brother, younger sister, and then it was all on the computer. But it was all like not online. It wasn't the online school thing. It was like
Workbooks.
yeah, basically like digital workbooks essentially.
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
you like read the lesson plan. They gave you a little quiz thing, and then if you passed it, you were done with that. And then it was real easy to wait like 3 months, not do any schoolwork, and then my parents would be like, "Hey, testing's coming up soon. You ready for it?" And I'm like, Oh no, I'm not. Let's just crank out like 30 sessions in one day,
Yeah.
and then hope to God that I retained it long enough.
I mean, that shit's pretty basic, man. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, maybe homeschooling, I think the education curriculum is probably a little bit more in depth.
It's a little more studious because they know they have to pass like state tests and things to like
Right.
let you keep that, and so like they try to put the bar a little bit higher than it should be, just so that like it won't, become illegal, I guess, or whatever.
How involved were your parents in the process?
Not very. They like all they had to do was grade like papers, basically. Like so just
Oh.
papers. But besides that, everything else was automated. So
That's
Tim,
fucking dope.
Tim Tebow was homeschooled too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah, he's a weird guy, right?
No,
He was nice. We had him here in the studio a couple times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
take
did.
that
I did
back.
2 of his audiobooks. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
No, he was fine.
Whoops.
He remembered my name the second time, so I appreciated that.
I can't tell if he's kidding. Are you kidding?
No, I had his mother in here as well. I also did her audiobook.
No kidding.
Yep.
That's
it's-
awesome.
He's a very big guy, by the way.
Yeah.
He's a football player.
Yeah, his legs were my waist, and I was like, man, that guy could crush me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
he got
that's
angry, he could crush me.
That's
That's awesome though. I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm not.
I was
not
gonna
to
crack a
brag.
joke, and now I'm not going to.
Oh no, you totally can. Let's roast the guy.
No, I'm just a Kentucky Wildcats fan, and I grew up, and I hate the Florida Gators more than anything.
True. Yeah.
But
I don't-
Tebow, if you're watching that, I'll have you on.
hey Tebow. Oh, look at him. There he is.
Praise the Lord.
Oh, he's
Reading-
That's him in Pine Studios, right?
yeah,
Yep,
reading the
yep.
Bible.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
That is the Pine Studios vocal booth. That's
That's
what it
his,
looks like.
Vocal
that's his
booth.
audiobook.
Yeah. Yeah, he's reading his own audiobook.
I'm sure if you go to the Instagram, you could probably find a photo of him, and then I'm not tagged in anything. They did not give us any. It's even it's
Don't
it's a
you
bummer.
hate it when people do that?
Yeah, like they took videos and stuff in here. He's like, "What's up, guys? We're in the studio today." Blah blah blah, and it's just like, "Hey, can you get out of the camera shot?
Oh, for fuck's sakes, bro.
Oh, cool.
Give people a little bit of love, you know what I mean?
Well,
Your local community. At least.
I'm saying if he ever did like do an audio book reading of the Bible from start to finish and do it here, it would make you a lot of money, but I think it would sell like hotcakes.
Oh, it probably would. Yeah, good Christian girls getting just. Yep. Yeah, they'd be there for it.
Well, it baffles me when people that have platforms don't use them to like help elevate, other people trying to do things. If you're working somewhere, like you're working with people, don't you want to like help elevate the thing that you're, I don't know.
Yeah, like the mentality of like a rising tide lifts all boats kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but also it's like, do I want to have that like be my claim to fame or something like that? Like that seems kind of dumb to like put too much, and like in the grand scheme of things, like that's why I didn't put too much weight on it for me. I was like, well, keep grinding, am I waiting for somebody to give me a shout out that's gonna make it? And then they're like, oh, that's just the dude that did that guy's audiobook. Like,
Yeah, I guess I could see that, but it does carry weight though, and it at least helps get like.
I'm still bitter. Yeah.
You're still bitter. Yeah. I feel you, bro. I'm with you. So you, on top of owning the studio, you are a multi-instrumentalist, or you play
Yeah.
one?
So I primarily played, like I started with drums, like that's my shtick, and then I also play piano, and then I can obviously play guitar enough to be like the singer-songwriter type bit.
Why
But
don't you play something right now? We actually have a brought the guitar just for you.
yeah, well, I'll play a nice 6-minute song.
There
Just
you go.
really
Just
burn some time on this
fucking
podcast.
DGC all day, bro.
That's right. I mean, like, I got real into, I think the artist that got me into wanting to write songs was that guy William Fitzsimmons. If you know him, he's got a
I know
huge beard, real soft singing voice. It was just like moody, sad, soft music, and that was kind of my jam when I was younger.
You're a big Damien Rice guy, also.
Not really, no.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I also only got into him because I was dating a lady that was at the time 14. Does that count when you're dating somebody at 14? I don't know.
It
But,
should. It shouldn't.
Yeah, I did travel across the world to go see her though, so I think
Oh, wow.
maybe it should. Sorry, parents.
I wanna sit on Billy's reaction to that real quick because I feel like there was. Why shouldn't it count, Bill?
'Cause
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's before you're an adult.
Well,
What's an adult?
18.
18's an adult?
technically,
Prefrontal cortex isn't developed till you're like, what, 25?
well, you can still go to war
Yeah,
and die.
I would
so.
even.
So,
put
like,
it
what
up to-
definition of an adult? Like a legal definition of adult? An
Yeah.
anatomical definition
Well,
of an adult?
this is the problem, right? And not to like ruffle too many feathers here, but it is, like the idea of like, when you're 18, all of a sudden these people become just should be unattractive to you, or like should not, you know what I mean?
Underage, yeah.
Yeah.
What is this podcast now?
I'm
what are we
no, no,
talking
no.
about?
It's just
No, it's a good point.
It's-
It's it's arbitrary.
it's very arbitrary. It's just like
Yeah.
it's just you just picked a number, and you're just like that's it.
Well, I guess at some point you do have to pick a number, right?
You do, but it's just like it's not so black and white though. People develop at different rates and they mature at different rates, and there's mental maturity, physical maturity. There's so many different things that play into the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess because like the law has to operate in a black and white kind of medium. It's just that it's very arbitrary.
Yeah, it's like erring on the side of caution, but then in the same case, like it should be black and white rules with gray.
Enforcement.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put
Do
it.
you think they're going to roll back the age since people are getting smarter quicker?
Bro, in some places it's pretty rolled back. Like you go to Utah, it's 16.
Is it 16 in Utah?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah, that's
yeah.
interesting.
So are you moving to Utah now? Or you?
It's a beautiful state.
Beautiful
It
state.
is a beautiful state, actually. One of the most beautiful states I've ever been to.
I agree.
And Salt Lake City was a surprisingly sketchy town.
What?
Really?
It's kind of cool. Like, it's got like a little nightlife or whatever, and the church, the grounds are gorgeous.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful church grounds I've ever been to. But it's real sketch.
It's a dry city. You can't drink there.
No, you can now.
Oh, really?
Oh, you can now?
Yeah, but you can definitely. I got hammered in Salt Lake City.
Oh.
I went to a jam and just fucking got shit faced and sat in with all these guys, and I had no business sitting in with them.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Did you ever
it
see
happens.
SLC Punk? That's one of my favorite movies.
No, I've never saw it.
That's a good movie.
SLC, the big SLC.
It's in Salt Lake City.
Oh, it's in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, but it's
I
about the
see-
punk scene
Made
there.
the connection there.
Yep,
Yeah.
it took a second, but we're here.
I
I'm a
can't-
little slow.
I
Sorry.
can't remember the
Sorry.
name of the actor, but he also played Shaggy in the real life Scooby Doo.
Oh, I know that guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang. I thought he was CGI.
But that's a really good movie.
Dax Shepard.
no, it's
No,
not
I
Dax
know. He
Shepard.
just kind of looks like him. I can't hear you guys.
I
man.
look like Dax
Matthew
Shepard?
Lillard.
Matthew Lillard. Oh, okay, cool. Glad we got to the bottom of that.
Good.
Anyways, so I do want to ask. So you're a songwriter, you're a musician, you're a producer. Do you feel like you fit into any kind of like? Do you wear any hat more than the other one, or like do you feel like there's a title that kind of better represents you these days?
It's like more so seasons, I think. So for me, like, I was definitely like the singer-songwriter title, probably from, like the age of 16 to I would say 22-ish. So I'm 26 now, just for reference. And then pretty much like since 22, 23, I kind of took on more of like the producer hat role for other people. And I'm not like upset by that, but by any means. But yeah, like as of late, I've been trying to dip my toes back into the singer-songwriter scene. But yeah, it is interesting to handle that many hats because yeah, I'm also a musician, and so like I'll do contract gigs for people sometimes. Not so much as of late. Like I used to play drums for like bro country artists and things.
Fuck yeah, bro country.
It was freaking tight. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. I kind of miss it.
I mean, it's just like I'm sure you just kind of go on autopilot and just rock out, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only bummer was learning like these sets where it's like they're like artists, but then they also do 20 covers in their set. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so I have to learn like 16 originals and then like 22 covers, and then
Who are you working with?
so there was an artist named Blair Hanks that I played drums for a while.
Does
He's
it
super
get more
cool.
country than that? That's
Blair,
like,
Blair Hanks.
yeah, it sounds like the most country. Like that person should be a country star.
Yeah, I mean, he did pretty well for a while. I think. His like one of his ex-girlfriends was on that reality TV show called the Chrisleys or something like that.
Oh,
Chrisleys.
yeah.
So he was on that for a couple of episodes or maybe a season, I think. So he got some fame from that sort of thing happening. And then I played for him for like 2 or 3 years, and then also played for a guy named Chase Foraker, also great name.
And
right?
these people were birthed by a barn, straight up.
No kidding. And
I've heard that name before, though.
yeah, and they're both originally from Jacksonville. They're both in Nashville now. Hey, there's old Blair. Yeah, look at him there.
Yeah, Blair,
Yep.
crushing
Oh,
it.
there's him with Savannah Chrisley right there.
Good-looking man, I will say.
Oh, he's a great dude. Yeah. I mean, he's great. He's always like whenever I did my runs for solo shows, like I always played more Midwestern places when I played for my personal music, just because that was the demographic that hit. So like Nashville, he let us stay there and hang out,
Hell
all the
yeah.
time. So shout out to Blair Hanks, great dude. No qualms, but it was bro country. So it was still just like
Yeah.
you know.
What is it about that scene and like the hip hop scene where it's
They've become one now.
well that they are doing that, which I can't stand.
Why not?
It's just like it doesn't matter. Like look,
Tell them how you really feel.
whatever whatever like, genres merge and it's great. Whatever. I don't have to like it though. It's just it's terrible. But but like country today and hip hop for a long time has been like they're like these facades. You know what I mean? These are like in country. It's like you got guys that grew up in cities that moved to Nashville and writing about growing up on a ranch. And then you got guys in hip hop that came up in the suburbs talking about gangbanging in the inner city. It's just like what do we?
It's commercialization.
Yeah, I mean, it's just vanity. You know what I mean? Like, and to me, like music kind of loses its you know, I don't know, like thing when it's done for that purpose. I feel like
I think it's people that are wanting to play a game, and I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to play that game of like commercialism. Like, hey, can I sit in a room with 5 other dudes and like write a good song that will be a #1 hit? Like it's a game. You're like saying like who can come up with the best lines, melodies, chord progressions that make a song that's going to be radio friendly.
Let's separate though the writers from the performers, right? Because,
for sure.
Because the performers, especially in Nashville, are often not the writers, right?
100%, yeah.
And those are the people that are from like Chicago, talking about being out on a ranch in Wyoming.
They're just good writers.
No, they're not writing though. Like they're just performing the thing. You know what I mean?
No, the people that are writing, they're the ones that are really out in the country and everything, or in
like
the inner city.
Maybe.
Why? Why do you think that?
I don't know.
Why would they have to be from there?
It may be because like I think you might be like me, and like at least when I write songs, like they're very much contemplative, and like I've thought like they connect to me in some kind of a way. So my general assumption is whenever I hear a song and I listen to lyrics, I'm like, that's what that person actually experienced,
right?
You know? But then it's kind of like the deconstruction era when you're like becoming, especially a producer, for example, like doing stuff here, and it's like people will arbitrarily change lyrics, like this fits better, and I'm like, interesting, okay, like. So did that happen to you?
Right. So it just sounds better.
It just sounds better.
Yeah. Or and even that doesn't bother me, right? But when we do it for the sake of like, well, this is what's going to sell. That's the problem to me.
But have you ever seen that? I can't remember what movie it's called or the name of the movie, but it's John Lennon and Yoko after they're writing stuff, and some guy is like camped out on John Lennon's giant party, and he has to explain to him, it's like they're just songs. They don't have any meaning like that.
Well, and that's true. But John Lennon
they're just words.
Yeah, but John Lennon also took that approach with his writing, where like if you listen to like the Beatles or even just a lot of his stuff as a solo artist, the words, it's like they're together because they just sound good together.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not actually really saying anything half the time.
Yeah.
But like that's different than trying to sell like a lifestyle,
like an image.
Yeah,
almost.
an image.
Yeah. No, that's definitely very true. Especially like as you said, like country and hip hop are the two, I think, biggest proponents of that sort of thing. Like, oh, you have to have the brand set up of like,
right,
we're gonna make you a whole backstory that like fits in with this thing. We're gonna remove the parts that don't fit this narrative, and like, we're gonna make you sound like a small town dude that like got his big shot somehow.
I talked about it on a podcast with our friend Caleb Fesco. I have a friend of mine that moved to Nashville. We played in a band together, and we were both from South Florida, and then moved to Nashville and was like doing like the country thing. And I'm listening to the lyrics, and I'm like, "Hey, I respect the grind."
You've never even pet a horse before.
No, but bro, we're talking about the contemplative like mindset of a rancher just out there, just looking at the stars and seeing the cattle and like figuring out what his next moves like this whole thing. It's like, what are you grew up in West Palm Beach? Like I see shit like that, I'm just like, and again, like I don't hate on the grind, but when it becomes for the sake of like trying to be famous, that's the problem.
No, I think like that's the good question that like we have to ask ourselves first is like, do we even know what these people actually want? Because for example, it's like I have good relationships with both those people that I played with, and I know that like they definitely inflate that sort of character around them, but then it's like, are they doing it because they want to get famous, or are they doing it for income? Which it's like, if it's for income, then also like I can't knock it because like why am I doing anything for income? Like it should all be passion based if that's the case. And it's like no, I take projects on at the studio sometimes that are just for money.
I've always thought that it was crazy that in country music they have an accent the whole time, which is very weird to me because like if you listen to like
half the time.
Well, it's not even that, but if you listen to like the Beatles or any British stars, like you can't tell that they're British, like or Scottish or whatever.
Right.
Oh, like as in like the actual singing process.
Yeah, no, the
it's
singing
like,
itself.
way down yonder.
Yeah. What's that about?
I think that's probably a cultural thing, and like it's what's
Stylistic.
worked in the past, and so that's kind of I think that's like a category. Like if you listen to any country song that doesn't have an accent to it, it probably just sounds like alternative rock or something.
Especially nowadays.
That's all it is. And like if you got rid of the accent, all country music would just be that. You're
Alt
right.
rock.
Yeah, it's just rock and roll.
It's
It's
rock,
rock,
and
baby.
roll
That just-
with a little twang.
That just hit you right now.
Oh man,
Welcome to 2022, bud. Jesus fucking
Well,
Christ.
I've only ever listened to Hank Williams and Merle Haggard.
and so and the thing the thing
Mama
is
tried.
yeah.
the thing is with that is like going back that far. I think that people were kind of like they were that removed from society. Like they didn't have the access to all these different demographics that we have now. So like if you were coming up like in the 30s like playing bluegrass and shit and you were singing, like you just had twang to your voice. That's just what it
Yeah.
was. There was no like putting it on. Like that's just what was coming out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus nowadays, say, okay, well, we have a proven track record of what works here.
How do you feel about Keith Urban?
I don't know enough about his music, but
He's from Australia.
he's from Australia.
Yeah.
But they have, but bro, that's pretty fucking
yeah,
country
that-
out there.
it's-
But his
that's country.
accent is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to get at.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean, does he sing with a country accent?
I don't think he actually
Does
really
he
does.
sing with an Australian accent?
No, but it's different though. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's
That's
it's
what I'm
kind of
trying
like
to
this,
get at.
like most people don't sing with any accent.
That's what I mean.
Right? Yeah.
It's weird.
But I think it's different though. Again, like with the country stuff and even with the hip hop stuff as well. Like you're talking about like when these styles of music were kind of originating or coming up.
It was in the country.
Yeah, or like it was in the inner city. Like it was just the access to what they had available, right?
Sure.
So there wasn't like this. Like the Beatles were super mainstream, right? So by the time they got, if you listen to some of their earlier stuff, like listen to the Quarrymen, right? John Lennon's like band before the Beatles, and that shit sound like they're straight out of fucking England.
Oh,
Like when they're
yeah?
saying, oh yeah, big time.
So do you think that they were hiding their accents?
Yeah,
Oh,
to try and sell it in America, 100%.
no
yeah.
shit.
America's the biggest.
Well, what's up with
entertainment-
Madonna then? And then she got a British accent, even though she's from Michigan.
That's fucking weird when actors and
Or Gwyneth Paltrow too.
Well, yeah,
she moved to London.
well,
Anyways,
no, it is one thing when you're living in somewhere for a certain amount of time and you take on the accent. That does have. I go
Oh,
back
yeah.
home and I'll get like the Miami kind of fucking like thing going again a little bit. You know what I mean?
would you call it the Miami drawl?
Yeah, Miami drawl.
Miami drawl is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
It's a real. It's not called Miami drawl. It's a dialect. You know what I mean? So there's like a very like it's like kind of like dry like bro like it's fucking hard to do, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a really
You have
it
to
should-
embody it
Yeah,
for a
but you
minute.
should
Yeah.
you should try to do it more
For the rest of the podcast, you could do that. That'd be
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
My like my cousin has it like heavy, and like everybody, especially now. Like I grew up in South Broward, so it wasn't quite Miami, but it was like at that time when I was growing up, it was like people had it or they didn't. Now like everybody there growing up has the accent. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And it is the hardest accent to actually emulate.
yeah, I
It
believe
is
it.
from that's from linguists that said that.
Interesting.
100%.
Man,
It is
Miami.
because it's a straight up. It's a Latin drawl. You know what I mean? So even if you're not Latin, like you just have it
Yeah.
there, and so everybody just sounds like they're Latin.
Interesting. That's wild.
We went to a rent-a-car agency one time when we were recording down there, and Billy's car broke down, so we had to go to the rent-a-car place, and this dude's talking to him.
Was that
That's not true.
was that before or after I took a Valium?
No, that was right before, I think.
Yeah.
And Billy goes like,
So I can't be held accountable for what I said.
So, no, this guy was just talking to him like you know whatever perfect English, but just had the Miami accent. And we get back into the car, and Billy was like, "Why is he speaking broken English?"
That's what it sounds like.
I was like, "Bro,
That's what it sounds like.
his
Oh god.
grammar was perfect, and he speaks way better than your backwoods ass relatives in Kentucky. I can guarantee you that much."
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Whatever.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like
Yeah, circling back. Yeah, it's very yeah, like it's a game, and it's unfortunate for certain types of people. Like, I mean, like I also feel that weird like tension of like that's not authentic, I guess would be the best way to put that. Like authenticity, but then I don't know. It's also like in this day and age, like even authenticity, you have to question like, okay, like I perceive this Instagram ad as being authentic and transparent, but like this was definitely done by some marketing company to appeal to me, to assume that they know I like authenticity and like organic atmosphere.
Have you like?
The Latins, they call that ethos.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it is.
Well,
I learned that in 10th grade.
10th
fuck
grade.
Yeah, private school for you.
Yeah.
Fuck, I was just gonna say something. What would you say?
Let's see. It was about the oh shit, what was it?
Oh fuck.
About how Instagram ads
Instagram
affect
ads
you, even though they
Yep.
look fake.
Have you gone into
or
those?
real, I mean.
Have you gone into those ads managers on
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram and stuff?
Yeah.
It is insane how dialed in you can get that shit.
Very specific.
I mean, too specific. Like down to
It's uncomfortable.
the operating system that your phone uses.
Could you?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Could you fuck with someone really hard then, and be like make like
Make an ad specific for somebody.
Yeah. Say like
Hey,
you
Greg.
were making fun of somebody for going bald, even though they weren't, and then just hammer
Hammer
in like
them with
$1,000
bald
worth of Keeps ads, like it's just all for this one person.
That'd be fucking wild,
That's
bro.
a great
I mean,
idea.
we can do that. Yeah, if you have somebody in mind, we'll talk after. And
Oh man.
Set it up.
I
You got a
love that
marketing
idea.
guy, right?
no, not at all. Oh yeah.
You got a marketing guy.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I've got a marketing guy.
Yeah.
We'll get
Me
it squared
too.
away. Sick.
Yeah. For the market.
For the
market,
yeah, you're into stocks.
I'm into the market
Yeah.
and all the piggies I got there.
All right.
I've seen a stock before.
I've
Yeah.
seen this. Yeah. They look real good on cows.
What?
No, we should let that silence just sit there for a little longer. How about that?
Yeah,
I
they're
was,
good.
I was looking up. Did you know if
Way
you
to help me out, guys.
if you go to speaking of stocks, which
Fucking
is
drowning over here.
completely not what we're talking about, but you can go to CNN Business and look up stocks, and then you go up to the shareholders, and you can see everybody who's been selling their stocks.
Oh no way.
It's ridiculous. So I was looking up like Apple and all this other crazy one, but Tesla's the best.
Who's selling their stocks?
Who do you think?
Elon?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's
Oh,
and
damn.
then it's just like you can see how much it was and when it was, and it's like $50 million here, $100 million there. It's pretty.
He's
So I looked at my own company that I work for, and then I could see the people that are getting gifts, is what it's called, and that's their bonus for the year.
Oh.
And then they like immediately sell it, and I'm just like, must be nice.
Elon's just
Must
trying
be
to
nice.
bring back the value down on Tesla. So
No,
he
that's
can
not what
buy it
happened.
at a lower rate and then just fucking.
I'm not sure
skyrocket
why
shit
he
again.
did it, but I looked into it, and in November of 2021, I think he put a tweet out, said, "Hey, should I sell 10% of my stocks?" And everybody's like, "Yeah." I was like, "So he did," but I think he was just saying that as a joke and was gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
That guy's fucking wild. Speaking of something that's more boring than the music industry,
what?
fucking stocks.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is great.
Especially
I
from
thought
guys
that
who don't know
was-
what the fuck they're talking
I
about.
thought that was interesting.
Let's talk about NFTs and cryptocurrencies while we're
They're
at it.
done.
Fucking
They're
Christ.
done.
They're done?
Yeah.
And have you seen? Sorry, we're gonna keep this for like 5 more seconds.
Yeah.
NFT horse racing. Have you seen that?
What
How's
is
that even work?
You buy an NFT, which is a horse,
Okay.
and then you can race them. You can also breed your NFTs and like mining, basically.
That's the Tamagotchi that you have, right?
I have a Tamagotchi. What's wrong with it?
It's like the same concept, right?
yeah,
mean?
just like you can actually watch the. Yeah, there it is, right there.
Own,
Yep. Yeah,
race,
that's
earn. Oh my god.
That's
Yeah.
kind of fucking dope, bro. Looks like that looks like a
That looks
video
like-
game from like 1992.
It's like
it's kinda
the
sick.
Kentucky Derby.
What are we
But
doing?
in Tron.
It's
So what's happening? So they just run forever?
yeah, and so like you can bet on horses, and then you can either win or lose. And then if you own a horse, you can rent a horse out to be in a race as well, and then get like income from renting your horse for a race.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it does. Like I don't understand it. Like I'm not sure how this works.
This is not for our generation. This is for the next generation.
Yeah, this is definitely like
You're young enough to still catch on. I'm pretty much. I'm out of this.
I'm out.
Race. I'm out of this
yeah.
race.
I hope I'm not in.
Yeah. Literally, that would suck to be in that race right there.
Yeah.
Those horses are just going.
Yeah, and
With
see,
no-
here's the problem too. Is like people watch this. Like, look, it's live right now. Here it is. Like, this is an actual race.
This is an
going
actual
on.
stream that we're watching
Yeah,
right
no.
So
now.
what happens
We're
at
on
the
Twitch.
end? You win money?
People can, I guess. I don't know. It's
Or
really
they just
sad.
do it for fun?
I don't know. It's probably a bunch of bros.
But what's any different watching that versus like a real horse race.
Are you serious?
Kind of
What's the
slim to
difference?
none, right?
Yeah,
No,
it's basically the same
100%
thing.
not. No, it's
Well, no,
not.
like look, like if because you watch them on TVs,
It's just
right?
energy
Yeah.
just fucking
Yeah,
floating across.
We're watching
a
this
thing.
on a TV.
Yeah,
you
it's the
don't-
same concept.
Yeah,
It's
that
pixels.
argument
It's
is
a bunch of pixels.
Stupid,
Bunch of
because you
pixels,
can just
bro.
break
It's a
down
bunch of
everything
pixels.
that way.
It's just all vibrations, really. At the end of the day.
yeah.
We're just all floating
We're
around the
all-
universe.
And nothing matters.
Just
Nothing
skin
matters.
bags full of water flying around
That's
on a rock.
what it is. It's what it is.
It is what it is.
Do you need a hug or something?
No, I'm feeling good today.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No nihilism in you right now.
I'm not a nihilist, man. That's more of Billy's game.
It's fucking
Oh,
nihilist, dude.
Billy's more of a nihilist.
That's
I'm not a
the Big
nihilist.
Lebowski.
I consider myself to more like a realist.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
Interesting.
I definitely believe in like
Conspiracies.
some of them. Also, manifestation and all that shit. You know, like
okay.
just I think that you definitely create your situation for the most part.
Yeah, and I think there's like I feel like there's probably like a psychological and is like scientific explanation you can attach to that concept.
Oh,
as well.
I'm not coming at it from a spiritual place. It's 100% like
So do you
it's
think
all in your head
the-
type
do
shit.
you think
know what I mean?
Oh, okay, like strictly mental in that case.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was just, I guess we're on the same page then.
Yeah.
Like just a matter of like you're going to position yourself. You're going to have conversations that matter. You're not going to put as much weight into thinking about things that don't matter because you're manifesting that sort of thing.
And it's also like when you tell yourself that something is possible, you just set yourself up for that thing to actually happen.
Yeah.
Versus telling yourself that something is not possible, and then you're setting your like. There's no point to do it then, right? So
Yeah.
it's you have to trick yourself into like kind of into playing the game the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, like the prime example of that is like whenever you're in a fight or flight situation, even like down to like a subconscious level of like when you're rushed to do something, and it's like, hey, you have 20 minutes to do this. Like you have 20 minutes.
Right.
It's like, you usually figure it out.
figure it
like
out.
I usually will figure it out. Like when I come up here sometimes and like I haven't cleaned up from the previous session, it's like I have a session in 20 minutes and I've got a whole drum kit mic'd up still.
It's fucking high stakes. bro.
Somehow I can get it done, but then other times I'm like, oh, I've got an hour and it'll take me an hour.
Right.
And it's like it's the same task, same amount of things to do.
It's literally that exact mentality, man. It's just that. It's like you've given yourself the option of this thing right here, and if it's gonna be easier that and assuming that something's not possible and just taking the easy way out is always gonna be easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like we're always going to like lean towards being sedentary
Right.
from a fundamental standpoint. Like your brain is trying to conserve energy as
Right.
much as possible. So
Right.
like that upward climb that we have is the opposite of what we want to do. And,
It's so counterintuitive too because like it your brain does want to conserve the energy, but like your brain actually gains more energy by pushing itself to do
Yeah.
it. It actually consumes more energy because it has more energy to consume. When you just kind of lay there set like just not doing shit, like your brain's trying to hold. It's the same concept like working out. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
When you eat more, you burn calories faster, and especially if you're working out and stuff. When you eat less, your body wants to hold on to what it has because
Yeah.
it doesn't know when it's going to get the next thing again.
Yep. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess, yeah, manifestation might be true in that case. Yeah.
And again, I'm not coming at it from a spiritual place. I do believe in some like spiritual aspects of things.
Mm-hmm.
That's not. I mean, and there might be some of it with that too. Maybe the physical world impacts that. Your train of thought impacts that in some way. But it really is just a state of mind more than anything else.
Yeah, and I think like there's also no harm in it either. Like like there's no negative consequences to attempting that, unless you're trying to be manipulative. I guess might be the only situation in which like manifestation could be changed in someone's brain. Like they can manipulate it in their own brain to then use manipulation on somebody. And go, I'm just manifesting something.
It usually backfires at some
Yeah,
point.
like
though. It's
manifest
not,
destiny. And I was gonna say, yeah, Putin, he's manifesting what he wants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, yeah.
Put
like,
your mind to it. You can invade a
I
country.
can't prove you wrong right now. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, but that's what it is, though, right?
I don't know.
That's a
think-
strong-willed man.
No,
Whatever you
no.
want to say.
I think I was thinking more of like people that are victims of, I think, coincidence and stuff like that. I don't know. I do understand the mentality of like you don't be broken no matter what, but
Victims of a coincidence. What do you mean?
well, like the people in Ukraine that are getting like bombed right
like
now, they didn't fucking manifest that.
Victims of circumstance.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, it's coincidence, circumstance too, but I'm saying there's coincidences that happen all the time. That
Totally.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to any of this shit.
But you know what? If
you can't put a definition to anything.
Coincidences are for sure true. Also, like
That's the nihilism coming out.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not one of those people that say there's no coincidences either. You know, like it's all real. You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit of everything. So a coincidence happens, but if you perceive it as not that, and it's like, well, this is a sign, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at it as that, you're actually going to follow that down a path that you wouldn't have otherwise if you're just that doesn't mean anything. I'm just gonna ignore that just happened. Like the book The Alchemist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very similar to that.
Yeah. And also, like, an interesting point, I think, is that, like, when it comes to people, like, seeing coincidences or signs, as you kind of mentioned, like, oh, this is, like, it's a sign of this, like, you know, you also forget about all the times that coincidences didn't happen.
Sure.
Because, like, your brain wants patterns, and, like, also because, like, patterns equal success in a sense.
Right.
Like if you can find positive patterns, like, or like I guess more so like cool, like like repeating sequences are like showing some kind of a pattern that can be positive or negative, and so your brain becomes awake for that kind of thing to happen.
Right.
So I think like people will ignore the fact that like they tried something 12,000 times and it didn't work, and then they happen to do one small thing beforehand, and they're like, ooh, because I did this.
But is that not better though? You ignore the 12,000 times that you fail and you still keep going to make the thing happen.
I mean, like, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's also necessary because, like, if you just had the weight of all 12,000 times that it failed, then, like, you wouldn't do anything.
You wouldn't
You'd
do
be
anything.
crushed by it.
That's what I'm saying. And I think that people, because I do kind of view things in that way where I do think that there are like signs, you know what I mean? I also think that there are coincidences, and like the intuition is knowing what the difference is, you know? And then you have scenarios where things don't work out, and those are like the excuse for that is that it's not that you don't acknowledge it, but you look at it as like, hey, well, it's just a test, you know, like the universe is like testing me, you know.
Yeah.
But you can shake your head about it if you want.
I just
and that's
don't like
fine.
when people say the universe something something something.
It's fine, but like
what do you mean the universe?
Well, I mean, replace it with anything that you
With
want.
anything
Like,
that you want.
like the general amassment of, like, all human experience, which is, like, passed down either, like, through memes or, like,
I
genes, you know.
But
the
still,
ether, whatever you want to call it.
I don't
Yeah,
like.
mean,
I
so-
don't like thinking that anything's in charge.
Well,
Well, I mean,
that's-
like, I guess if anything was in charge, like, wouldn't it be something that wouldn't necessarily be in charge of, like, your specific mindset?
What?
Yeah, like
he's a little dense. You'll have to explain it to him a little further.
like so. So, for example, like if you have an omnipotent being, right,
Yeah.
that's controlling every single sentient life in the galaxy,
Praise
right?
the Lord.
Yeah, praise the Lord, right? Let's say that exists,
Yeah.
for some reason.
Right.
Then what's going to be happening is, how is like you getting what you want because you are like, or like if there's a will for that one thing, like it's going to affect every single other thing. So in that case, like the best option for that omnipotent being to do is let you have your own decisions, which create your own reactions to it.
So deep.
I don't know. I
trying
think
to follow you.
makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like in that case, like it's up to you to make the right choice
Yeah.
on something, and it's also on you to make that right choice. And there's nothing the omnipotent being that did happen to be there has any connection to you in that regard.
Are you talking about free will?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't-
We might be
That's-
there.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah,
Oh,
that's exactly
geez,
free
I
will.
didn't want to go there, but
No,
no.
it's fine. I mean,
No.
like I'm down to take it there. Anyways, what's your favorite song?
Oh man, let's see. Yeah,
Like
favorite
ever?
song.
And let's follow it up with your favorite color while we're at it.
Do you know-
Yeah.
And
I
what
have
other
a-
bullshit questions can we follow
what-
up after that conversation?
I haven't. So do you know? I came up with this the other night. How we've been asking like, what's the best or worst decade of music, whatever. I'm not trying to ask that. Don't ask
Let's
it.
do that, yeah.
No. Please don't. My question is, if you could get any band to join back together again, what would it be?
The Beatles.
The Beatles.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for you, but you know, for like a normal person.
Man, I'm trying to think of a band like so. First off, as a preface, I am probably the worst person to ever be a producer or a songwriter ever.
Are you not very educated on music?
I'm not very educated on music at all.
Really?
Which has been a benefit sometimes because
Surprising.
like I can like any band walks up to me and is like, "Hey, you want to record our stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's find out." Like,
Yeah.
if as long as it sounds good. I've always taken like the Rick Rubin approach to things, I guess. It's like if I don't listen to it normally, like what can I do to make it to the point where I'm like, oh, I'd listen to that. Like
Did
that's
you
cool.
just compare yourself to Rick Rubin?
No, I'm saying I take the approach of it, and like prefacing that hard.
So when's the next Beastie Boys record coming out? Just saying.
Metallica's on the way.
Fuck yeah.
No, let's see. But a band that, well, I mean, like I definitely grew up with like those, I guess like that pop rock scene of things. So like the Copeland or like the Nevertheless, or I guess Reliant K is still around too. But like that was always in our household to some degree. But definitely, I mean, I did listen to a lot of Copeland records. Yeah. Besides that, like I think most people that I listen to are still kind of like kicking today. Even like people like Denison Whitmer. Like I'm also much more into songwriters in general, which I feel like they never die because they're the only, like that's them. Like there's no band to split apart really.
Right.
So for me, a lot of the people that I do listen to have been around for a long time and are going to be around until they kick the bucket, kind of.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess it's the same as like if you could bring somebody back from the dead too. You know what I mean? Or tell them to keep playing music. If it's just one person, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, who would you choose
Van Halen.
to get back together?
Well,
70s or 80s Van Halen?
70s.
Yeah.
And
sure.
80s.
Not really the 80s.
Can you
though, right?
imagine 90s Van Halen though?
Wasn't Sam Hagar kind of exploring the 90s a little
Not
bit?
what I want.
Oh,
You know what I want.
Yeah. Van Hagar, sorry, not Sam Hagar. That is his name though.
Yeah, I want David Lee Roth back in, and he never got kicked out of the band. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to see what that would be like.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying. That was the question. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen where the Beatles would have kept going.
Course,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Can you imagine 80s Beatles?
Oh, fuck, for fuck's sakes. No, I hope they just break for the 80s and come back
What
in the
did-
90s.
what did Paul-
Interesting.
Yeah.
What did Paul? Well, yeah, because John Lennon didn't really do much in the 80s except die.
Oh my god.
But what did? Well,
Boom-ch.
he came out with that Double Fantasy, didn't he? That is. I think that's still 70s.
We
though.
need to get some fucking launch
what
pad
did-
action here. Boop, boop,
What did
boop.
Paul
You know?
McCartney write in the 80s? Anything good?
No.
What Wings was the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Anything in the 80s at all?
I mean, listen.
Boys, can you look something up
he
for me?
did. He had a bunch. He wrote a bunch of stuff in the 80s, but it was all terrible.
Oh no, he wrote that Christmas song.
Oh,
That's
Ooh,
a banger.
That's a banger.
That's a banger.
That's a banger.
You don't like that Christmas song?
I'm terrible at music.
Which
and
one
that's
is
a banger.
simply having a wonderful Christmas?
It's
That's
a
good
wonderful song to play because it's just like the circle fifths. Not.
Yeah, you're
ding,
you're
ding,
a guy like that. You like the circle of fifths.
It's fun on the piano. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these songs
Yeah. You know why?
because it's the 80s.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, the 80s were definitely.
I don't know
I
any
feel
of
like even last night we were listening to. Oh god, what's the song that's popular because of Stranger Things right now?
Oh, the If It Was Good. Yeah, that song sucks.
I don't know. I think
Who
it kind of
sings-
slaps. You know, what, actually,
No.
okay. I think it slaps, but like last night we were saying, like, man, this song wants to go somewhere the
Yeah.
entire time.
Yeah.
and it never goes to that
That's
spot.
yeah. Welcome to every song ever written in the 80s.
I was gonna say that's on TikTok, and I think that's what if you're gonna use any song on TikTok that's like super popular, you have to listen to the whole 3-minute song first, and then people would be like, oh,
Yeah,
I
like
it.
if I'm being very honest, like I had maybe listened to the full song like once in my life before this.
I had never heard it before.
And then like we put it on last night, and like we're like, oh, this is the track, and then it's like, oh man, it's gonna drop any second.
Yeah.
and then it just
Never does.
it just
No.
doesn't drop.
Well, you know, it's like the 80s was like the infantile stage of electronic music, I feel like.
For sure.
And so you didn't want to drop the baby.
what?
Oh yeah, well, like
You
you,
know what I
you also
mean?
had nowhere to go too in terms of like headroom and like mixing and everything like that.
Yeah. What was a play on words? I was, you know, it never dropped. You didn't want. It's like the infantile stage. You don't want to drop the baby. You get it?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But I
I'm
don't-
sorry, it was a bad joke.
No, it's not that.
God damn
I
it.
appreciated it.
I just don't understand
I was,
what you mean.
You know, I was searching a little bit, but I think you know, whatever.
Fucking Colgate reaching over there. You know what I'm saying? Is it Colgate or is it Crest? Can you look that up? Because I've been saying that a lot, and I don't want to
What's
get
the,
it wrong.
What's
We're
the
also-
ref on this? Like
The toothbrush.
the toothbrush.
Yeah.
Nobody gets that. That's also a reach, though, right? So you
That's
can't.
a-
That's
you
what's
can't,
so
you can't-
great
That's
about
a
it.
reach.
That-
That's a reach.
that's a reach.
I'm gonna confirm.
Yeah,
I
you-
didn't. Yeah.
Nobody knows what he's talking about. You can't use a reach to make someone else feel shitty about reaching. You know what I mean? Like that's bullshit.
No, he has a point. You do have a point.
I know I do.
Yeah, that's like the worst kind of tit for tat.
It really is. And I will. And going back to the worst decade of music
Oh, come
from the
on.
50s to now.
Okay.
What goes?
But we're not talking about
Ooh,
it.
like what decade
50
would I remove?
Yeah, 50s to now.
Ooh,
It
let's see.
was earlier, boys. Like looking like the 90s.
Oh God, you're making an old reference too. For fuck's sake, is this even
Jesus.
Bill.
I still don't know what that is.
Nobody does. I don't even know what it is.
No, continue with the question. I apologize.
50s to now.
Oh yeah, 50s to now. Let's see. Like I'm gonna analyze it for a second. Okay,
Do
so
your thing.
So like 50s most definitely had like the emergence of like bands becoming iconic. Like,
Rock and roll,
Rock
man.
and roll. Yeah, exactly.
Little Richard, Buddy Holly, fucking Chuck Berry, Richie Valens, Elvis Presley,
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis, who diddled his first cousin or married her actually. But you know, the
Both.
music works. He did both. You're right, Chris.
Oh, Jesus. So we have 60s too, right? And like 60s were like psychedelic era. And
British
like,
Invasion, you know, yeah, totally
Yeah.
Frank
psychedelic.
Sinatra.
That is
70s have my favorite drum tones. Like that was the experimentation with like closing drum tones. Again, like drummer first for me personally. So
Right.
like I was always like 70s drum tones, like dead, muted.
Yeah.
Let's throw some cotton balls in here and see what happens, kind of thing.
Right.
Like that's cool to me from
That's
a drummer's perspective.
That's
like
the only
when,
way
like,
you can have two drummers playing at one time, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You got to mute everything.
Yeah. Well, also it's just like it's the like miking techniques got different in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like that's where they were like, okay, this is what a drum kit actually is.
Yeah, they were
kick,
exploring
snare,
that.
rack, floor, hi hat, ride at the least. Like that's when that got like really solidified. And it's like maybe two floor toms too, like getting crazy with it.
right.
But also it's like that's when they first started doing like close miking on drums, because before that it was like every mic they had, if they put it on a kick drum, it just blew it up.
Well, I
It's
mean, what's that Zeppelin tune where they just put his drums in a fucking in like
a stereo
church, yes,
or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, and
Oh.
they mic'd up like every level of the of the building.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah. What is that song? It's on. They were talked.
This,
What's
is,
it?
this is like one of my favorite bands too. I can't remember.
They talked
right
about
now.
it in This Might Get Loud too. He still.
Yeah.
They still own that church, or it's not. It's not a church, is it?
I
It's
think
just a
it's
really old house.
Yeah, it's a
But
house.
it looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
a church.
Oh, interesting. It's a house.
Yeah,
That's
Jimmy
wild.
Page was telling that story there. I love
Dang.
that movie, by the way. It's a great
That
movie.
is a great movie. Yeah,
It's hilarious. Jimmy Page and then
Jack White,
The Edge.
The Edge.
You're like, what?
Well, I mean, a very.
So trying to get like an '80s one, and I don't.
Yeah,
get it.
that's. I think that's where the Edge kind of shined. Was
How about-
he was very.
How about Eddie Van Halen or Slash
Okay, but like.
or like?
Yeah, but
whatever.
bro, like those were shredder guys, and like
Yeah.
everybody was doing that. What the Edge did was take technology, which you should appreciate being a synth player. He took technology and really made his entire style like based off the technology. It wasn't about the guitar playing.
Yeah.
You know, like listen to his delays and like all the effects that he was using,
Eh.
and like the songs were based off of those effects. Period. He's playing two notes the whole time.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You
That's
know,
a good point.
He was very
Yeah.
innovative as a guitar player.
Yeah, I mean, like that definitely changed everything for guitar players. Period.
Yeah, like every indie band that exists now, that's like kind of psychedelic would not be here without YouTube in the 80s.
Oh no, definitely not.
With the King of All Pedals. That's the Edge.
The Memory Man.
Yeah.
I hate that pedal. It's
It's
not
the-
getting the gear. Fuck.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's not worth it. Anyways, sorry to circle back.
Yeah.
Decade, right? We were doing decade
Decades,
bit, and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
Oh,
I was over analyzing everything.
No, that's what you're supposed to do with this question though. That's what we're here for.
Oh, let's see. I think I left off on 70s drum tones. So
Mm-hmm.
so we can already know like, so far I'm not killing 50s, 60s, or 70s. All right, we can put that to rest for me personally.
Well, the 80s just eliminated drums altogether. Just got drum machines.
See,
go.
like that's where you come into like they started using rototoms and they started using like sample
worst.
drums.
So
and like
bad.
I love rototoms. Like they're like when I play drums sometimes like I'll omit my left side crash and just do rotos on that side and just
But-
press in.
But we can like acknowledge that the technology is better now though, right?
Yeah, we could do that.
Did not sound good in the 80s. You gotta have your testing stages.
Yeah, I think the 80s was a fascinating age of like digital processing from like a mixing standpoint too.
Yeah.
Like that's when records started to become like consistent, I think, where it's like
Yeah, they all sound the same.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like there's definitely pros and cons to that though. Like I think a pro of that is like that's what created the ability for concept albums to like really shine.
You think so? Because I think they had plenty of concept albums before that.
Yeah, but like not in a way
Look at
that
the Who. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean-
Quadrophenia, and pretty sure Tommy was 70s as well.
Yeah, it was definitely '70s.
And then The Wall was 79, so I was just pushing the
Early
edge
in the
there.
'80s.
Then you had like every fucking prog rock, King Crimson, and
You're out of my wheelhouse here.
okay, I mean like Rush, fucking like all those prog rock bands coming out of the 70s. Like these guys were doing. I mean, the 80s was innovative in the tech sense, but as far as the music goes, it was
You don't like the 80s.
He's the worst one.
Can you say
Damn.
that for me?
I don't like the 80s. Doesn't do my disdain for it justice.
Oh, interesting.
I hate the 80s.
Dang.
Like straight up. Anyways, continue.
80s fuck. They're awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I would say, moving on from the 80s, because, yeah, like, I can't really name, like, a full, like, sonically, you get the most consistency, because you're also, like, seeing the innovation of DAWs for the first time.
Right.
Like, it wasn't Avid at the time, it was sound design. Like, sound design was patented in 1982, I think, which is the precursor for Avid and
That's
Pro
funny.
Tools and all that jazz.
Now they're like dog shit, right?
What's that?
Sound design as a company.
Dawes?
It was sound design, I think, got absorbed by Avid, and then absorbed,
okay.
like, they're basically gone.
I'm thinking it was Soundcraft. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
of.
sound.
Yeah.
What is Soundcraft?
Like you buy there's starter like entry level PA systems and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Okay, that's right. Yeah. Again, I'm also for being in this industry, I'm terrible at also like gear brands or like model numbers on things. People are like, "Oh, check that out. That's a hum."
Yeah, I feel.
And I'm
I feel
like,
you.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
man.
they were drooling, waiting to show us that.
Oh well. All right.
Hey, man.
Well, my
let's
friend
see, is
had
that
a really
40
shitty sound.
channel. 40 channel console should probably be at least over like a couple grand, I think, for like decent preamps.
Yeah.
So,
Well. Okay, I was wrong again, Chris. Sorry.
A lot of
Yeah.
knobs and
That's
stuff.
what we get for having fucking engineers as our tech people. We got to make some changes around here, bro.
Why?
yeah,
I think they're great.
get some interns. That'd be a vibe.
They are interns.
We're all interns.
We're all interns here. At bottom of the bill, we're all
Anton,
just.
you crushed plugging those mics in, by the way.
What did I do?
You did a really good. No, you did it.
Did you
Yeah,
rap?
you
Did you
plugged
rap
them
that
in.
one?
Yeah, I did rap this one.
Aw.
Dude,
It's like
Yeah,
a
that's
5-year-old
good.
trying to put together a
I would have
Christmas
done like
present.
one
Oh,
more
you're too
single
kind.
loop across, but beyond that, I mean,
Did you
more.
do that one too?
I'm really good at rapping them after I unplug them.
I did this one.
that's good. You got the good strong over under technique.
Yes.
Yeah, I've played
Nice.
a lot of gigs. I'm more of a gigging musician.
Oh, yeah, for
you know
sure.
what
I mean, you got to wrap cables consistently for that. Then
yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Where were we at?
90s.
90s. Yeah. You know what's funny? So like, I think this is all
You
going to
just
make
put
way
it
more
back on.
sense. It's going to make way more sense with the NFT horse racing.
Yeah, for sure.
So I used to hate anything 90s. Like maybe 6 years ago, like color palettes from the 90s, like pastel colors. I was like,
Oh,
turned off immediately.
Still there with that.
Music, I was like, I got like a visceral reaction, a negative visceral reaction to hearing anything from the 90s.
You have a bad childhood.
No, I was born in '95, so like I don't remember the '90s
Oh,
really.
true.
Like
It was pretty dope.
Like realistically, I don't remember them.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel
like
you.
I barely have that 9/11 memory in my brain.
You really missed out.
Yeah, I mean, like I do have a memory of that. I will say probably because it was traumatic enough, and also I was 6, so you definitely have like memories.
Your memories
like,
at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely do. But like, so my earliest memories are '98. That's not '90s. Not really.
Yeah, not really. Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
But anything for some reason in that era just made me feel uncomfortable for the longest time. So I would have, if you'd asked me this question probably 6 years ago, I would not have done any deep dive on this. I would have said 90s, kill them, destroy them, don't care about them, gone. But what's interesting is in the past couple of years, I've been like more nostalgic towards those kind of things, even though again, like I have no real recollection of those 90s elements. I have like the like vibration after like the aftershocks of the 90s that are in my brain, and now those are becoming nostalgic for me.
Right.
I'm having nostalgia for like my brothers, or like my older brother's nostalgia of the 90s,
Right.
somewhat. So now my visceral reaction is of the 2000s. So coming to a close with that, I would say as of right now, the 2000s, what was popular in the 2000s, not everything 2000s. Like one of my favorite records probably is like Plans by Death Cab. Like I think that's a great record. Like,
Solid band. Yeah, I like that
yeah,
tab a
like
lot.
Chris Walla is like one of my favorite like producers in general. Great keys player, like he's fantastic. That record I think is timeless to me. It's 2006, so for me to say ditch the 2000s is hard.
Yeah.
But I take that question to be more so like when you think of a genre or like a decade, for example, you don't think of every single piece of music in that decade.
Right.
You think of like
we have
what's
casualties.
popular.
Yeah, we're gonna have some casualties.
We're
for
gonna have
sure.
casualties with this, and it's like the hits from the 50s, 60s, 70s. I would argue probably 80s. There's some good hits in the 80s.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
90s, 2010s. We obviously have bops that we can think of from 2010s.
Totally.
Like the 2000s though, like the bops, the things that were like, holy shit, this is
I
huge.
mean, bro, Get Low.
it's just
Lil
like
Jon and the Yin Yang Twins.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
That-
I don't
That's
know.
a fucking
It just
banger. Slob on my knob.
all of that hip hop.
36 Mafia?
It's not even. It is hip hop, but like it's not really that.
Oh,
Those
compared
clubs-
to what's coming out these days, that's fucking conscious hip hop.
I just
you're not wrong.
You fucking see. At least they're saying words.
Yeah,
You know
Jesus. Yeah, and not asking for just like strict auto tune and then like weird ad libs that you can't hear.
Yeah, totally.
T-Pain.
I keep leaving out. I keep. Well,
No, I mean T-Pain's different though because like he also can still sing.
yeah, he's a talented guy. We had this conversation when I was here last time, and I want to get into that in a little bit, but not just yet. But yeah, jot it down for later.
Oh, what about speaking of 2000s artists?
Yeah.
That was weird.
That was
Sorry,
fucking
I
weird.
shouldn't have done that.
What about
That was good.
What about the Billboard, dude?
Yeah, we're gonna do it right now. That's what we're getting to.
Yeah.
So, bottom of the billboard is a segment that we do where every week we recommend a song to be reviewed and see if it makes it on our Spotify playlist, which is called Bottom of the Billboard. So go check it out. And typically, Billy and I don't agree on anything musically, if you haven't been able to tell by this point. And
the past like 3 we have.
yeah, it's been weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're melding.
Yeah. Well, don't make it weird. So
We're docking.
okay. So the song that I picked this week was "Infinite" by Eminem.
Yeah.
Now this one has a special place in my heart because
What year did it come out, boys? It was it 2000s or not?
no, it was 1995 or not 96. Sorry,
Really?
96. Yeah, that album came out in 96, and it's crazy because like you can see the progression of when Eminem got discovered by Dre, and when they found his shtick with Dre, and they were like, "We're gonna make you the angry white boy. That's what we're gonna do." And then the Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP was like all that. You know what I mean? It was just like this crazy drug addict, like just saying like shock rapper, and it was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but like it was just so different from what he was doing when he did the Infinite album,
That was before all this?
way before all that.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So when I first heard this song, I discovered the song much later on.
Yeah, of course.
So I heard this song and I was like, oh fuck, he was like a conscious rapper before he was like the shock value like pop star, you know? So anyways, I don't know, the lyrics just hit me like it's crazy how somebody when they're so young can have such a, I don't know, like you can really understand an artist's full potential before they have to water it down or try to like, pick a lane and stick in that lane type thing,
Before they play the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyways, I love this song. What do you think, Bill?
It's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, the thing with Eminem is, especially if they're like, when it comes to rappers and stuff, when obviously it's going to be about the lyrics and the rhyming and other stuff like that. But when that's like the focus of it, I kind of
It's a cool beat though.
Not really.
It's really lo-fi.
I get it, and now that I knew, because it sounded like to me, like you said, Eminem went through this phase where like all I saw of him was him being like crazy, and then he started doing like serious stuff later on and
Yeah.
everything like that, and so that's what I thought this was from, but it's not. You said it's like before all this, and so he was doing this from the get go.
Yeah.
So I don't especially like it that much. Because it's just him yelling at you the whole, kind of like Tupac does, just yell at you the whole time.
Can we pull the lyrics up real quick?
I'm sure the lyrics are great. And it's like he's a damn genius too, the way that he constructs phrases and rhyme schemes and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the whole, I don't know. It's not my taste. I don't know. It's not my kind of go-to.
I feel you.
Hip hop or whatever. I like more of the conscious hip hop, but not trying to like just scream at you.
That's not what did you listen to the same song?
Yeah, I listened to it 3 times.
We had the lyrics up here, guys.
Stand by.
You're so good at that voice. I don't even know what it is.
I don't know either. I just kind of like go up, up, up.
Oh, it's there.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. It's
Yeah,
still the
horse
NFT
racing. Yeah, no, this is good.
All right, who's in the lead?
But yeah, overall, I just it's
Song. What was the name of the song? I was
Infinite.
Infinite.
can I say this? And it's gonna be super proud. It's too much rhyming.
He does.
but you know what I mean?
I feel you.
Where he just like, I can't even try to impersonate because I don't know the lyrics and stuff like
I
that.
do
but like
feel bad if
every
you-
word rhymes with each
like,
itself
look
in
at-
that whole sentence.
Look at the words.
I'm not
though.
saying that he's not like a genius or he's smart or anything like that, but when it comes down
A
to
brainiac,
it, like,
in fact, son, you mainly lack attraction.
Yeah,
you
that
look
kinda
insanely
stuff.
whack when it was just a fraction of my tracks run. Like,
Yeah.
this dude's just like, it's like
he's very smart.
he's
I'm just
digging
saying, like,
deep for shit, bro.
musically and stuff like that it's not my favorite. I get it. It's 100% like it's like he's the best. I got it. But at the same time, I don't know. I would never listen to it. I just never really liked Eminem very much. So, but
I mean, like it's just insane, bro. Like to put words together like that. Obviously, the chorus is just dope as fuck. You heard
Yep.
of Hell While I Was Sent From It. You know what I mean?
yeah, I couldn't understand. That's the other thing too is I've got that weird disorder where I just listen to the music and I can never remember lyrics to like save my life. Like even my favorite song, like I'll get it wrong every time. So I don't even know what he's really saying.
You heard of Hell without it. Because I mean,
Can you do the voice though?
no, I can't do the voice. I'm infinite. You heard of hell when I was sent from it. I went to it serving a sentence for murdering instruments, but now I'm about to repent from it because when I hear the beat, I'm tempted to make another attempt at it. I'm infinite.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope, bro. He was like 24 years old when he wrote that shit.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what
also
I mean?
kind of like quite of a bold, like framing, like lyrical framing setup because it's like it's all A phrasing.
Right.
No B, no C.
Yeah.
People get obsessed with like, oh, you've already used A twice, like you can't use A again.
He sticks to that thing like the entire song.
I know.
Yeah,
And
it's just like he's like, fuck it, like let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't like it. I think it's really cool to do that, and to even do that the entire song is like super hard thing to do. But me like listening to it, it's
Yeah, you're not a lyrics guy.
What are the Prince of not Vienna say and Amadeus? It's like there's only so many notes a person can hear in one night, and that's
Yeah,
how I
okay.
feel about it.
What do you think?
Yeah, so I did. Usually, like when I listen to tracks, I have to do it a couple of times because my brain, especially as of the past couple of years, my brain frankly goes even beneath the musical part of it. Like I guess Aaron Copeland calls it the Shirley musical plane. I go underneath that, unfortunately, too quick, and I now even just hear like I'm listening to like vocal tones, effects. Like the first thing I noticed was like, oh man, they're using that spot delay like very sparingly, like on the end of each phrase. It's like a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like real thin too.
Right.
It's like just like a little telephone effect delay for like 2 repeats max. And it's very subtly used. Like it's only at the end of some phrases, not every phrase either. And it's kind of random, which again shows like it was definitely done on a console at that fact.
Yeah.
So it's like they were sitting there being like, here,
Right.
jump it up, here,
Right.
jump it up. Oh, that's tight. We got to do it again. You messed up. Let's do it again. So it's
Right.
like you're being conservative as possible with that. But they were still kind of bold with it, which I appreciated. Obviously, it's like I can hear the punch-ins a couple of times.
Sure.
Which you can't do anything about.
I mean, we're
Like-
talking like 1995, 96. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
like-
It's like, yeah,
There's-
and like no budget.
It's
Yeah.
like groundbreaking
Detroit,
for sure.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
no, like it sounds to me like tape cuts sometimes.
I'm
just
sure, like, I don't doubt that that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
It might actually be that.
yeah, because like sometimes it's like you hear like a little like a little noise or something, and I'm like, oh wow, like this is. But it's kind of tight for me because like I spend so much time having to edit vocals, and I'm like, man, that's great. They just like it sounds good, and it's like they just went with it. They're like, yeah, that's fine. Like no one's gonna be like, I hear a tape cut.
Right.
Like no one's
right.
gonna, like it's, nowadays that would be all like everyone would like harp on them for it, you know. But like back then it was like, no, we're not hearing that. We don't care about that. We have music. We only had this for like 45, 60 years at
Right.
the most, like that we can actually buy at a store. But so after I got past the production aspect of it and I listened to it on like the musical plane, the first thing that struck out to me was that like I think it's a voice maybe that's like it sounds like a pad / voice. It's like upper register, and it every chorus it drops in there, and that chord progression, which I think is like a 4 major 7 to that 6 to a 1/3 maybe.
I haven't dissected it like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like that chord progression to me is like very cinematic, emotive, but dark.
Yeah.
Like it's cinematic first off, like it makes me feel like a movie. It's very like I felt an emotional response to it, and it was like a dark response to
Yeah.
it. It was like an aggressive, but like yeah, it was like a before like not a fight scene in the movie, but like before like a big moment in a movie that's tense is what
Yeah.
it felt like to me.
That's I mean like the lyrics would kind of lend itself to be in that that kind of realm anyways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and so like I appreciated that more so even after I did like the third or maybe it was the fourth time through. I might have listened to it 2 times to get the musical playing part of it in my brain, but either third or fourth time listening through it, I pulled up the lyrics and like read along as it was going through, which I find it always funny when like the ad libs at the front of the track are also in the lyrics. Cause I know from experience, it's just like that's
Crazy for this one.
half-assed stuff that's like tossed in there. Like, I need to do an ad lib track, and it's like, yeah, 904. Shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's literally that.
Yeah, and so it's like that's probably all that it was too, like realistically. Like, and I'm not going to try to put like I think it's like irresponsible to put too much weight on somebody's like reasoning for doing any track.
Yeah, it's like all speculation.
Yeah, exactly. Like for all we know is the last thing for the last 20 minutes in the session. They're like, "Do you want to put anything on the intro?" And he's like, yeah, I can." They're like, "You should put something on the intro, bro." And
Yeah,
he's like,
every rapper's doing it, bro.
yeah,
Everybody's
he's
doing
like,
it.
all right, I don't know, let's do this. But
Yeah.
anyways, so like lyrically, the first thing I noticed was like the all A rhymings for the chorus, which was kind of tight. And then also like it's not all A rhymings for the verses though.
No.
It's like A, and then he goes. But what's cool is he goes B, 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 I think, and then like C, C, C. Like he's not doing any kind of callbacks really.
Right.
Which I'm like, that's kind of cool because like my first thought was, no, like the introspective part of me says like, oh, you should have a callback to A, and then somebody has to like decipher it, sort of thing. But it's like, no, he was just going with a flow, which makes much more sense too. Like, don't break the flow, kind
Right.
of thing.
Totally.
For me, like I definitely valued the chorus the most, to be honest, just because like I feel like the beat matched very well with like the lyrics of the chorus, and then also like the textures and timbres that were used in the chorus, and again the chord progression for me, I was like, that's a vibe right there. Even like when the beat first drops in, it doesn't drop in where I thought it was going to drop in at.
Right.
I don't know if you noticed that or not,
Yeah,
but like
totally.
it like comes in like there's no kick at the very top. It comes in on that
Right.
on that snare beat.
Right.
So like you were waiting for it, and it's like it throws you off for a second.
That's kind of a big thing in like conscious hip hop though, where they do kind of this. It's very syncopated, you know, or like they kind of trick you as to where like the one is going to be at. You know, like Mos Def like references it all the time in his tunes where
True.
you know it's like he talks about it's, you know, what does he say? It's like just it's off time and like, you know, it's almost like abrasive, you know. But that's like the point of it, because it comes from a culture that is very like, you know, that's the thing that's so, to me, that's so special about hip hop, is that every aspect of it is representative of the culture, you know. Like there's this counterculture thing. It's different. It's not what people understand, and the music, at least at one point in time, really represented that, you know. And Mos Def made a really good comment about it. He said it was folk music, you know. It's like it's music that was born of like the blue collar class, basically.
right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And when pop got its hands on it, it took away that element, which is what made it what it was, you know. Listen to guys like that, like Mos Def, Talib Kweli, even like earlier. I mean, Eminem is still amazing, but obviously he's not doing that kind of shit, you know. And all Common, like people like that, and you're like, okay, this is elite talent here, you know. And then you hear people talk, oh, who's the best? Is Drake the best, or is like you know, fucking whoever else? Like, who are they talking about now?
Lizzo.
No, not Lizzo. Like Kendrick is dope. Okay, like J. Cole's
Tyler,
dope.
the Creator or something like that. They're just like yeah, like it is weird to see that competition that kind of exists. And is that almost quasi like unique to like rap and hip hop?
Yeah.
I feel like it is.
Because
right?
you have the battle mentality, you know, it's like the battling thing, and it's all supposed to be with the purpose to elevate like each other, right? Because like, you want to try and be like okay, well, if I'm the best and you're with me, and if you beat me, then you're the best. Like it's not supposed to be like I'm better than you. It's just supposed to be like, all right, like we all think we're the best. Let's see like who's actually up there. It's supposed to be like empowering to each other, you know?
Yeah, it's like healthy competition.
Yeah, and the content that they talk about, you know, it kind of shifted in the early 2000s, and I'm a big fan of like Southern gangster rap. Like I love T.I., especially early 2000s T.I. and Lil Wayne, the Hot Boys. Like, I love all that shit. Okay, however, I can recognize that it kind of like rap kind of shifted when it started to glamorize the aspects of the culture that were just being talked about, right? It's like, okay, well, early hip hop artists were talking about what they were seeing, right? But it wasn't so much about glamorizing the experience.
No, they were just expressing what they saw.
Exactly. This is my reality. And
Yeah.
then somewhere like in the 90s, like the whole West Coast, East Coast, Tupac, Biggie thing, it started to really become, well, even before that, NWA, it became very glamorized. It was like, we're not just like experiencing it, we're doing it. And if you don't do it, then you're a bitch.
Well, also it's probably because like that's the like mid 80s, like, or maybe early 80s, I guess. Like when did MTV come out? When it comes like
The early 80s.
like early 80s. So like you have to think like there was a new format for music to be consumed in, which was video.
Right.
And so like what makes a good video? Like a good video is like good visual content that's appealing and to keep you watching.
Right.
And so it's like, how can you make something about like, upbringings like that are rough, like whether it be like blue collar or like inner city streets, like how do you glamorize that into a music video that sounds like pleasant? Like it's like the song's pleasant. We already know that. Like songs are good, but like, okay, we're gonna go to like, like watch horrible things happen on the street. It's like, well, okay, that's not gonna sell. Like that's not a good video.
Right.
How can we twist that to be a glamorized version of it?
And not to mention that just the lyrical content itself is exciting, right? It's
Right.
like it creates like, it's controversy, and people
Yeah.
love controversy. It's like, wait, what do you mean? Like, you guys are out there killing each other? Like you're selling like this is, you had at the time Scarface and like the movies were talking about like, the cocaine cowboys and all this shit.
Right.
And then you have, and that was so glamorized at the time. And then you have this other culture that's kind of talking about the same thing, but they're kind of glamorizing it through music rather than through movies. It's like, well, the movies are selling. We could probably do the same thing with music.
Yeah.
And not to say that those guys, I mean, some of those guys were doing some crazy shit, But before that, it was like you had LL Cool J and like Rakim and people like that were doing like, it was much more about the battle rap aspect. It's like, this is how dope I am. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, I might fuck you up because like I'm from a crazy neighborhood. That's how we handled shit. But this is how dope I am as a rapper.
Yeah, that's how this song kind of goes. Is him talking about how great he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally what it is. And then like the late '80s.
Why would anybody want to listen to that though?
That's because.
Well, I
Get
mean,
what I'm
The things
saying?
that people didn't for a long time.
That's what I mean.
It was a counterculture,
Yeah.
and people did, because when rap started to hit the mainstream, people got excited about something that was so different, And I think that at that time it was like there was purchasing power as well, because there was a light being shown on the inner city communities, and there was like this new market that was being explored, I think, and so they really tried to exploit that to an extent. And I think as it went on, they started realizing, well, this is how we can exploit it to the max,
And so then everybody kind of follows suit, and then it was just like, well, yeah, that's what you got to do is
then-
talk about how great you are.
And then but
How many
not,
cars
not just
you
about how
have and
great
how
you
much
are.
money you have.
It started to glamorize like the lifestyle of being
Yeah.
a gangster.
Yeah.
And then it was like, because it's not just that I'm great. I'm also like, I will also literally kill you.
Yeah.
And I'm rich, and I came out of the worst circumstance. And that's a glamorous lifestyle to people. People love the rags to riches story.
yeah, that's very true. I was
know?
going to say that. Yep. Yeah.
And then it evolved into Tupac and Biggie, right? You have the literally two coasts were beefing, right? And then it, whatever, like that kind of settled for a little while, but bro. And then the early 2000s, you have Murder Inc. and Interscope, Shady, Slim Shady, and like Ja Rule and all those guys were and people have learned by this point that if you go toe to toe with Eminem, you're just going to you're not just going to lose the battle, you're going to lose the war. He destroys careers.
He has the Elder Wand. So the only way you get the Elder Wand is if you beat him in a rap battle. And we've all seen 8 Mile. You cannot beat him.
It's
Mom spaghetti situation.
yeah, but and I know that you're making a joke, but even beyond
It's no joke.
the talent of like rapping, it's that
It's just a little silly,
well,
if
it's-
anything.
No, it's the
Tongue in cheek.
I'm just saying.
It's a stake that they have in the industry, man.
It's just weird, though.
It's like, no, if you
What if all music was like that?
you know that people were stabbed in recording studios during that battle, right?
That's
Like,
weird,
shit was
isn't
going-
it?
Yeah,
It's a little silly.
I don't know if it's not silly because like there were real
Why can't they just get along?
there were real consequences to those
What's up with
things.
that?
But the thing is that those guys have such a stake in the industry that beyond like the rapping, obviously they're super talented and they will make anybody look like idiots, right? But beyond that, it's like you actually can't function in this industry anymore because you've gone to the point where you pissed us off, where we don't want you to exist anymore. So you just don't. Like Ja Rule, fucking Fat Joe, you guys don't have careers anymore.
Yeah, music for lifestyles is kind of weird, isn't it?
It definitely is a double-edged sword that probably had its great benefits at one point in time, and I think like it is like are like beefs as common anymore realistically.
If they are, it's really just done for the publicity.
Exactly,
Like
and even
MGK.
then, both parties benefit from it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's like because it's like little less tribalism is kind of like seeped into it because it's again the mentality of rising tide lifts all boats. So it's like, okay, like I don't like how you did this thing, but like the reality is like who today is going to go like into a studio and like really beef with somebody?
Yeah, it doesn't. You can't really get away with it the way that you could 20
definitely
years
not.
ago. You
Yeah,
know?
and if you attempted to do something like that, you'd be blacklisted on your own. Like you would immediately lose the battle with that motion.
Well, and hip hop is moving away from that mentality. I think you know,
Yep.
not that it's getting better talent wise, but it's definitely its focus now is much more on like
So
partying.
you see rappers get shot all the time.
It's not, but bro, it's not as prevalent as it was though. It's just not.
I don't know, man.
I would say it's
I don't think it slowed down.
I would know
Yeah, it
like
did.
I would say it's slowed down. I would say it's not gone.
It's not gone.
See it all the time on Instagram. Like every other day, there'll be another person was shot in their home.
Yeah, and like it does get tricky because it's like I mean like so like I track a lot of hip hop too. Like that's one of like if you're a recording studio like you
Just do.
get into it.
Yeah.
Because like it's a very interesting market as well. Like sorry, this is a sidebar, but anyways, like it's a weird market because it's like you know, I look at stuff as like again, I like to produce things. Like I think it's fun to be like, hey, we should do this instead. But then like recording hip hop, like how that works in this day and age, because this actually does work for a lot of people. They come in, they book like 2 hours.
Right.
They track for 1 hour.
Oh, I know,
They want
yeah.
you to mix it in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And also make like editing moves, production moves,
Bro,
you know, whatever.
It's been that way.
Yeah, and like that's just how you do it.
Yeah.
Right. But it also works though.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. Oh, it's illegal.
Oh my God! There's actually a graph for it. Heart related. That's hilarious. The blues, yeah,
Interesting.
because
okay.
they're so sad. Okay, no one's
Interesting.
gonna laugh at that.
Rap
That was a
is-
good joke.
Rap is 51. Hip hop is 51%. Yeah, obviously there's going to be a disparity in that, but I'm just saying that compared to what it was on a mainstream level, you know what I mean? Like you have to realize that 20 years ago, the mainstream was talking about going into studios and shooting people up.
Yeah, that's true.
Where the mainstream of hip hop is not there anymore.
Yeah, like
they,
Tupac had a whole song and everything like that, and he's
Hit
like
him up.
super famous. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pop sensation, and then
Yeah.
you had literally Eminem had a song called "Bully," where he just basically told Ja Rule, like, if you don't back the fuck down, we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
And you have Lloyd Banks had a song called "Officer Down," which is hilarious because it's about him and Rick Ross were beefing for a while, and Rick Ross was a corrections officer.
But-
So he starts off the song "Officer Ricky."
But
Oh
it's,
my God.
it's
so
all just,
good.
It's just silly though when you think about it. It's like, yeah, we're gonna kill you. We're gonna let you know in a song.
Bro,
It's weird.
Well, I mean, tribalism's like silly, anyways.
Yeah,
like
all
we're
of
like
it's
civilization is like
yeah.
the removal of that over the course
It's-
of time. So
but the thing is that it's not silly though because it's real for them, and music has always been what represents what's happening in a culture from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Right. So if you don't understand it, that's fine.
But it's weird.
But it's not
that I don't-
silly. It's not. It may seem trivial to you
No, that's not what I'm saying.
or silly to you.
The whole concept of it is, I'm not trying to say like the songs aren't good or that like
the experiences didn't happen.
that it's
or
not
anything.
serious or anything like that. But the whole concept of it, of them like, yeah, I'm gonna write this song about. She's like, oh, you wrote that song about me. We gotta go kill him now. That's silly.
Well, no. So it is. Like I think it is interesting that I'm certain that beef actually like now that I think about it, when it comes to like backdoor situations, like beef definitely happens in the music industry.
Oh yeah.
Like I know plenty of people that like don't like other people that are musicians. That
Totally.
would like if you cannot get them in the same room or bad things will happen.
Totally.
Right? You know? But it is interesting that like as you're saying is like to use that in a song and to like publicize that aspect of it.
It sells, guys. You know, like beef sells.
Yeah.
It just does. Lil Flip and T.I. in the mid 2000s, they had a big beef, and T.I. buried him. It's just like he had the money behind him, he had the talent behind him, he had the industry behind him. You know, like he was writing pop hits, and Lil Flip was a fucking chopped and screwed hip hop artist out of Houston. You know what I mean? Like he just wasn't gonna cut it. But that was real. Like Lil Flip had T.I. shot at. T.I. shot at Lil Flip's people. Like these aren't like silly little things. Like this is it's representative of the culture they were exposed to growing up. You know, and granted, a lot of it might be for publicity's sake, especially these days. Like a lot of it's bullshit. You know, even back then, a lot of it was bullshit too. But there are real world consequences, though.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like even if something is bullshit, like actions taken on that bullshit are real actions, right?
People are very serious about the people that they support in music and otherwise. You know, like it's just something could have been made like kind of contrived or put together for publicity's sake, and then it turns around real quick. It's a dangerous game to play. People's feelings get hurt. When people's feelings get and their pride gets hurt, and there's money at stake, their careers at stake. We're talking millions and millions of dollars.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's very true. That like most of the beef, even like I'm sure we can find like interpersonal beef that we've experienced. And it's like, what's actually on the line?
Right.
What's actually on the line?
Literally,
probably, if we're being very honest, like probably like $0.
Literally $0.
$0.
Yeah.
So it's like how much weight, if there is any weight to that beef, it's like that's probably on you to figure that out because you shouldn't.
Let's start. Let's start some beef then.
But I don't know. It's like
what's up? Start some jam band beef.
Jam band beef.
What do you want?
Doesn't that
What do you want?
Grateful Dead and Fish?
Widgeon, what's up?
Which
Better fucking protect your neck. I tell you that.
we're going. It's duck hunting season, boys.
Oh yeah, big fan of birds.
No.
I'm sorry. I love you guys, Ben, Max, fucking Brandon, Aaron. Aaron was just on our podcast like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We got beef
Still
now.
beef.
I got
Still beef.
I got a picture of Tupac and Biggie hanging up on my wall.
And you've heard like one song by each of them.
Yeah.
It's more than me.
But why couldn't they
Oh
just
my
stay
goodness.
friends?
So you
I
produce
think it's
hip-hop.
also like, don't be mad. You're like you said, you elevate your musical brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I
Don't
don't know.
shoot it though.
It's one of those things.
I can't believe there's no beef.
Oh
Yeah,
my
neither can I. Man, yeah, I don't know. Like again, when it comes, like actually, I think it was this past Saturday. I had a hip hop session, and like what he told me he wanted, he's like, I do hip hop stuff. He's like, but like I really like the way like this one Weekend song sounds, and I was like, all right, I haven't heard that either, so like let's check it out. And I listened to it, and I was like, man, that's actually like really cool. I'm sure I can figure it out. Like we'll figure it out. And so he tracked the song, and then like we get to the ad lib section, which is always like the part where like I get a little stressed out because it's like people usually want me to like be like, oh, where should I put ad libs on the track? And it's like I've just heard this beat for the first time. I'm hearing your verses for the first time, and you want me to decide like where you're gonna put your ad libs.
Right.
Like I don't know. Like I'm trying to figure out like what all the lyrics are still in the sections. Like what's the important lyrics in the sections.
Right.
But then like I kind of like that I don't have any like preconceived notions of like where they should be in a song.
Right.
Because it's like I don't know. I really don't know.
That is a big perk, I think, sometimes about people who are creative that haven't like studied in that respect. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you don't like you're creative regardless. Like the ideas come to you, but they come to you from such a genuine place because you're not like tainted by your the amount of influences that you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even like one small twist that I do with like my personal production style is that everything I say to somebody is a suggestion because I don't know, and I accept that I don't know. Like I can't be the kind of producer to be like, hey man, we're gonna cut that bridge. That bridge sucks.
Yeah,
we're gonna make a new one right now. And I know producers that do that, and they're great at that. Like,
yeah,
they really are good. Like they can really take a song and like chop it up and be like, this is the new song. Congratulations, you have a hit now.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's awesome. I can't do that. and I'm not going to risk like ruining somebody's song that they pay me money for to do that.
Have you produced a pop banger yet?
Let's see, a pop banger.
Well, I mean, in like
A
regards
popular
to
banger.
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, like,
okay. So circling back for country, like bro country, then I did my first ever bro country track did very well. Like the one that I like fully produced it, like from ground up. Like decided like I had acoustic guitar and vocal to work with, and we just like tracked it from there and built it up, and it did super well. And not being petty by any means, but like he went to another studio for like a couple other songs afterwards, and they all have like 1,000, 2,000 plays, and I'm like, suck it, nerd.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Bro, that's your clout now. Now you can walk in and be like, bro, I produced a pretty popular song.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure I know how this arrangement should go, and that bridge sucks. Cut it.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, as a side note, I feel like that's one weird thing that like I don't see a lot, like in the producer industry in general, is like you like utilizing Spotify playlists for like recommendations, like what songs you worked on. It's always like SoundCloud, like clips of songs or whatever.
Right.
Which I guess like makes sense to some degree, but I'm like, I don't know. I want people to go like, if I have like, here's my work, I want them to see like how many songs have like over 1,000 plays, for example.
That's
you know?
interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that either.
Because like people are probably going to look. Like that's what I realized. It's like if I have a SoundCloud playlist of songs, right, that I've produced, and I'm like, these sounds like they sound sick, whatever, but like I'm happy with these songs. If I was a writer or like a songwriter going to a studio and spending money on it, I'm not going to listen to the sample and be like, oh, that sounds good.
Right.
No, I'm going to go to Spotify and be like, okay, like, did it do well? Like, is it responding well to people? I'm going to like look up the artists because like it's a lot of money on the line to not do that. And so I want to make sure it's like I'm honest of like, hey, I did this song for somebody and like, yeah, it has less than 1,000 plays. And it also helps them out because it's like, if it has under 1,000 plays, for example, and it's their genre, maybe I didn't do a good job on the other people in that genre. Maybe you shouldn't come work with me. Maybe you should find somebody else. I'll help you do that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't look at it to that extreme, but
I do.
yeah, it's good that you take your passion that seriously. But those playlists and Spotify is such a fucked algorithm, bro. Nobody knows how to work that shit. I was taught we had a marketing company work with us on our release last year.
How'd it go?
It did well. We didn't put any money into Spotify because if you don't spend over X amount of dollars on Spotify ads and stuff, like it doesn't work. And we didn't have a budget to spend that kind of money to see any kind of return on Spotify. However, and I know that because what's his name? What's the singer from the Revivalists? I can't remember.
David Shaw.
David Shaw. There you go. They were also handling his marketing campaign, and they were like, "Yeah, man, we're pumping X amount of dollars into this, and we're seeing nothing, like literally nothing." It's like this is like the Revivalists have written like huge pop songs like on the radio and shit. You're telling me the singer is putting in X amount of dollars onto a marketing campaign to hit Spotify, and he's not generating anything more than what he would normally generate anyways. And it's like, yeah, because if you're not doing this, it just doesn't work. We can't figure it out.
Yeah, there's definitely like strange algorithms at play. But even like, I would argue like all the more so, like if you do have a song that does well on Spotify, then it's like, well, damn, okay, you figured it out.
Kind of, but you can pay for shit too, though. You know what I mean?
I guess you could
can pay for placement, and it's like, and a lot of it's like bots and shit, and it doesn't yield. The problem is that streaming on, if you're hitting the numbers across every streaming platform, then I will say, okay, you're doing it legit. If you're hitting the numbers on Spotify and no other platforms,
yeah, like no YouTube plays or
like it's bullshit. Number
I never
one,
thought about that, yeah.
And number two, it doesn't yield anything for you financially or otherwise, because the one streaming pays well when you're killing it across every platform. It pays X amount of dollars per, or X amount of cents per play on one platform, but it does that across every platform. So this idea,
But it opens so many doors for you on your resume.
wait, hold on, but here's what I'm getting to. The idea that streaming doesn't pay shit is bullshit, because when you're killing it across every streaming platform, you're literally killing it financially, and that translates to ticket sales at your live shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Now, if you're killing it on one platform, it's not enough revenue for you to see any kind of real change in your financial situation. It's not, and it certainly doesn't generate to ticket sales when you play shows. So what are you actually gaining? Nothing, because everybody else that's looking at that everybody in the industry knows what's bullshit and what's not. They see that happening, and then let's say a booking agent or a manager wants to take you on. And it's okay. Well, we're gonna book a tour. So we can't book a tour because you have no plays in this market, or your ticket sales come out to X amount or whatever, but you're killing it on this one streaming platform. It's like, yeah, but that's one streaming platform.
It also depends on the demographics as well, though. Because you have to keep in mind, like we all know at this point, I think that like YouTube is predominantly like male viewers, right?
Yeah.
Male viewers between the ages of I think like 25 and 40.
Yeah.
That's YouTube. Very little female interaction on YouTube. That's the demographics of YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you're a band that's like a, like soft, introspective, like cutesy music, and you put your song on YouTube, you're not going to get that many plays on that. Your lyric videos are going to do terribly because who's actually watching YouTube? Not really that, but you know what? Instagram, if you put the same video on Instagram, do totally fine, right? Spotify also is kind of the same way, I think. Like I don't remember what the actual demographics of like Spotify users are, but I'm sure it's somewhat slated towards a certain demographic of people in certain countries, right? And then probably even down to like certain states, like who uses Spotify versus Apple Music, for example. You know?
But it's pretty ubiquitous though. Spotify and Apple Music. If you were like bringing up like Deezer or Tidal, then I'd be like, okay, like yeah, those are definitely certain demographics because we're talking high definition sound. When people give a fuck about that are musicians. So like if we're tracking well on those platforms and not so well on Spotify or Apple Music, then we know that our target demographic are people that at least work within the industry at the base level, right? But when it comes to Spotify and Apple Music, it's.
You think it's a broad stroke?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty broad stroke.
Interesting.
I think it's pretty ubiquitous with those two.
Google it, boys.
Interesting.
I'd
be very curious.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
I don't know either. I have to guess, so.
Half and half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's going to be pretty.
Wow. What's the biggest one? Our age group?
Spotify,
Yeah.
I think, is the biggest one.
No.
Spotify
The
user-
demographics.
Oh,
Yeah,
demographics,
demographics,
yeah.
obviously for age.
Is that scientific journal peer reviewed?
Oh, this is a Google search, so,
Yeah, this is definitely peer.
Worldwide music stream. So let's say for people who are just listening, let's say what the numbers are. So we got 11% on what was others.
I guess like other streaming platforms that
Oh.
are probably like specific to countries and things as well.
Got you. Okay, I didn't see you. Okay, Spotify
Yeah,
is
Spotify
36%.
36.
Apple Music 18%. Right, exactly. So
I don't trust people who
Deezer,
use Pandora.
Pandora is for old people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for boomers.
They're like, I got Pandora. I don't need anything else.
I've never even heard of 10%. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Google's 5%. No one's listening to music on any Google streaming platforms.
No.
Deezer is 3%, but Deezer and Tidal are like specifically for the
Yeah, it's like
listening
hi-fi.
experience.
Yeah,
I've
for
never
sure.
heard of it.
Yeah.
Of which one, Deezer? Or?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So that's what I'm saying. Spotify and Apple Music. Spotify is obviously the biggest one by far.
I didn't know Amazon was number 3. I wouldn't have been able to guess.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was Amazon.
Yeah.
Music.
Oh yeah. Big time.
No idea.
Yeah. Spotify's been like the big player for like
Yeah, I
a
know.
while now.
Everybody uses it.
But as far as the demographics
36% anyways.
go, yeah.
But nobody uses 2, and if you use 2, that's insane. So I get what you're trying to say. You got to get it across the board,
You gotta get it across the board.
and
yeah.
that makes you look good.
Yeah, and then you also
Yeah.
and financially it makes sense at that point because now we're seeing real revenue coming in.
I get it, yeah.
But like when we're hitting well on one platform, if you're spending money to see plays on one platform, there's no return financially or otherwise because it doesn't translate to ticket sales because it's not real anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I do see that. Now, I guess for me personally, like when I look at it, it's like I know that most of the people that I work with don't put any kind, like they don't have any kind of money to do anything to get them plays, you know?
Right.
And I think for the most part, like who actually has money to like drop into plays besides like rich boys that like,
You'd
you know
be
what I mean? Like,
surprised. Yeah, I mean,
and even then they're not going to come to me to come record.
yeah. Well, I mean, fucking Tebow came in here, so you never know, bro.
It's not, you're not wrong. That's kind of like yeah, I mean, audiobooks are a whole different game, but because you don't ask for those, they get forced upon you almost. But.
So who's fucking killing it on Audible right now?
Oh man, let's see. No, but like, you know, the people that I'm working with know who I'm probably working with, and it's like they can also do things like go to Instagram or well, like I think like to digress, it's like more so like I think anybody that's worth working with on my end should be doing their due diligence to be looking at actual, like they should be doing research. Like I want, like if I was going to a studio, I want to be like, okay, who do they work with? How are they doing? Have they put up recent things? Like, is this a recent sample or is this like 10 years old? They're like bullshitting and be like, this is what we do recently. And it's like, dude, you haven't mixed that song in 10 years. Do you even know how to do that genre anymore?
Right.
You're not telling
Right.
the truth. It's just SoundCloud samples that I have no idea where they're coming from.
And that-
at least on Spotify, I can go, hey, guess what? That song is 2022 and it has this many plays. I can go to their Spotify or their Instagram rather, and I can see like, oh, they're posting recently. Like they're actually active, they're active doing this. So this person's like my samples on my website are active people that are actively doing something, you know? And so I think like there's some, like for me, like that's what I would be looking for.
Sure.
And so I guess also like as a person that's like doing it, you're probably always skewed towards like your own opinion of what you'd be looking for in something.
Right.
It's like for me, like that's what I would be looking for. Like my first step would be like check Spotify, is it doing well? Check their Instagram. And then, yeah, maybe from there I might go check like YouTube. Probably my next thing to go check out, okay, like do they have lyric video content or are they doing anything that's like interesting?
Right.
Are they putting out Instagram Reels or TikToks or whatever? And like,
Right.
are they getting traction or is it all ghost town?
Right.
Because it's like, no matter what, if I went to a studio's website and there's like a SoundCloud link and I listen to it, I'm like, that's a bop. And I go to it on Spotify and it's 2008. I'm like, okay, that's first red flag for me.
Yeah, totally.
Second, when I go to YouTube, it's not on YouTube. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, it's not on YouTube.
It's very strange to me that SoundCloud has the clout that it has because it's
People also get like huge plays on there, and they
I
blow
know,
up from
it's crazy.
from SoundCloud too, though. Like,
I
and
know.
That's one thing too. I've like had a hesitancy towards is I'm like, damn, should I also do like a SoundCloud playlist so that like people that do that, like if they blow up, I can be like, hey, check this out.
I mean, yeah.
SoundCloud.
What's
Cover every one of them. That's what he was saying.
what's that fucking?
You're not wrong, yeah.
What's
I
that?
mean,
What's
take
that
his
fucking?
advice.
What's that guy's name? Gary V or whatever.
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
stand that guy. However,
He's very loud.
yeah, he's very loud, but he makes a good point, and it's never the point that somebody.
Is that the TikTok guy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
Is he on
buying,
TikTok?
buying
Yeah, he's on TikTok.
things
now.
at
sure
yard
he's on
sales and
TikTok.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, yeah.
that-
That
he
guy,
does.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you were talking about a musician. Sorry.
No, I don't know. I don't know what he's just selling like how to grind basically. It's his whole
he's
thing.
just
I don't know
selling.
what his deal
He's
is.
selling. Strangely enough.
Yeah, that's a whole different rabbit hole we can go down. I fucking hate people that make their money doing that. But anyways, his whole thing, like he was talking to somebody who was a musician or whatever, and they were like, "Well, I'm hearing now it's all about fuck Instagram and it's all about going to TikTok, blah blah." He's like, first off, it's never or and it's always and.
Oh
I
yeah, I
like
saw
that.
that video.
And
I like that.
and I like that. It's a good rule of thumb because like why say fuck any platform? You're closing off or not. The only thing that I would say is with Facebook is it's an echo chamber.
It's also dying, but yeah.
Yeah, it's dying because it doesn't follow the premise of the modern social media platforms. It's people follow you, right? And that's it. And we're not like they're rarely out there actively seeking new content. So it's like Instagram, TikTok, they're out there seeking new content.
Yep.
Facebook is like, okay, I'm going to make a post today and see who's going to comment the same fucking 50 people that like my post or whatever it might be.
Well, yeah, because it's like it was supposed to be also like this is a tangent, sorry, but like it was supposed to be a closed network, anyways. Like,
Right.
Facebook was supposed to be a closed network, and that's ultimately like the hard part for them. The reality of Facebook, that's probably why they bought Instagram. Is like that's what it's supposed to be. Is like you and I are friends in real life, and so like we're going to be friends on the digital life,
Right.
And that's it. I don't want somebody else to be looking into what I'm doing. Like that's what it's like a friend group kind of thing.
Exactly. And
Whereas Instagram is like, check out this photo. I want more people to see this photo.
Yep.
If I'm being honest, I don't want more people to see my personal Facebook posts.
of course, yeah.
Like that's for family. Like at this point, how I view it is like that's like where I post like, "Hey, happy 60th anniversary to my grandmother and
1,000%.
grandfather." For
It's for
Yeah.
birthdays only.
I mean,
yeah.
It's true. Birthdays and then babies being born, and
Here's-
it shouldn't be used for anything else.
Here's how I can sum up my
Have at it.
Okay, I want to check.
if there's anything that left
check.
after you pour out, I'll take some more too.
I got you.
Take it all.
Here's how I can sum up Facebook the way that I view it in a nutshell is that I use Facebook to keep in contact with family and to post about bar gigs.
I use
do
it to look at cars that I can't buy.
Yeah. So, but do you know?
Or yeah, Marketplace is
That's
also
it.
like I use Facebook. Like,
Marketplace is great. But the
Yeah.
reason why I use it to promote bar gigs is because that's how much Facebook, I believe, doesn't affect your brand, right? Like you will never see me post about a bar gig on Instagram.
No,
right?
that's true.
I'm never gonna post. I'm never gonna make a TikTok video. Oh, is Billy not getting any more?
I don't
Fuck
care.
yeah,
I
love
never
it.
had any of it.
Oh, you didn't have any more?
Oh,
I'm fine. I was just gonna drink out of the bottle.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
That's there for you right there. That's a good like small swig.
That's pretty good swig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that governor off, my guy. Yeah, dive deep.
Oh my god, that sounds really. What's the word? Fuck, I'm losing the word right now. I'm losing it, guys.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Suggestive. That's what I was thinking of. Suggestive. yeah. But I think that if you're trying to build your brand, Instagram and TikTok are your ways to do it. Now, granted, there are two. Good job, Bill.
Congratulations.
So it couldn't be done.
He's chugging. For those who are just listening, he's just chugging the Maker's Mark out of the bottle because he's.
A full bottle too. It's incredible.
It's a full bottle. He just chugged the whole bottle. It's gross.
Sounds like my Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna die.
Oh my god, that is the creepiest voice of all time. But yeah, anyways, it's,
Fucking love it, dude. It's
and
like,
we're
Yeah.
off at the 700-meter mark.
oh, the fucking purple
iron-
horse is ahead now.
ironically, it's just like when you want us to get back on track, you just show us a racetrack
Yeah,
of horses, and I love that idea.
I just picked up on that actually. I like that. So I can't. I didn't hear what you said.
You picked up on it after I said it out loud.
Yeah.
Wow.
So did it make
Real
the
sh-
billboard?
Real Sherlock Holmes.
Oh,
Infinite-
yeah.
I don't know. It's built.
Oh, you're
What do you
gonna
guys
you're gonna make Jay work so hard to find this little clip now to put at the end of it.
We'll timestamp it. No. What do you think?
Oh man, wait. Are we saying timestamp? Is the question?
No,
or-
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does it make our
thumbs
billboard?
up or thumbs down if the
Ooh,
Eminem
yeah,
song gets on.
My personal bias in here is happening, which is again 90s nostalgia has somehow taken grip of me in the past few years, which is kind of
You're
terrifying.
getting older.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
When you hit
26 years old.
when you hit
Yeah.
30, then you're just like, oh, Bruce Springsteen makes so much sense. I swear to God, like the day I was 30, I was like, fuck yeah, anything that he's ever written is amazing.
Oh my god.
I saw the boss and I was fucking 11 years old and he crushed it back then too.
And then the next year you were 30.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I believe it.
For that reason, and also the chorus, I would say like like I hadn't heard the song before, and like I would like to hear it again,
Yeah.
and that's
Enough to make the billboard.
yeah. Like I want to hear like I'm a terrible music listener, terrible at it. I would definitely put it on my playlist personally.
Dope.
Okay.
Makes the playlist then.
Yeah, 2
You're
out of 3.
outnumbered.
Is it just
bad.
me? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I suggested the song, so obviously I want it to be on the playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, we try and pick songs that we actually like. Although sometimes, so it's funny
Do you
because
think we're actually going to start B4 on the internet now?
so here's what's funny is that
It's true, because we said shit about Tool and Dave Matthews Band, and people want to
but
kill
this,
us now.
This is what I want to get at right now. Okay, is that for the longest time, Billy has shat on my affinity for Dave Matthews. Right.
so bad.
Okay, except that, and also Tool.
Did you know he was
Well,
just here last week?
yeah, he was
I
just
told-
here.
Did you go?
Yeah, he was.
No, I didn't go.
Why not?
Yeah,
I-
Trick said
I-
him too. Woo.
Yeah, he did. Because I fucking play gigs for a living and I miss concerts.
Yeah.
That's just what it
Yeah,
is.
that's the reality.
It was
Yeah.
on Monday and a Tuesday, so.
Ooh.
Well, we do podcasts on Tuesdays.
What about Mondays?
Well,
That's
you know,
laundry
Mondays are
day.
open. Mondays are open now. Yeah, it's laundry day. Yeah. But he's shat on my affinity for Dave Matthews and says that they're terrible. Except
What's
that,
affinity mean?
yeah, well, you know, Kentucky.
Can you look
Public
up the
school.
definition? I just
Definition
don't
of
know if
affinity.
that's.
So the thing is that when I suggested a Dave Matthews song one time,
Yeah.
it got like the most views out of all of our videos on YouTube.
yeah.
And then the other band that he hates that I suggested
I never said that I hated him.
having or showing a great lack of intelligence. No, stupid. Okay, yeah, that's funny. It's great. That's Billy, right?
I am smart though.
It was before you asked that question.
Oh Jesus, guys, I'm falling off. I'm losing it.
Whatever, dude. You have an infinity for him.
I have an infinity for.
There
But
you
yeah,
go.
to digress, I would put it on my my playlist in general, you know. And so I think if I hadn't heard it and it's been out since like what 95, you said 96, like
95, yeah.
barely like as old as I am, basically.
Yeah.
like that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Considering especially that like music from like I know music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Well, this was not a hit record.
Right.
This is before he got discovered. It was put out like I don't think the full record is even on Spotify.
Interesting.
I think just the song is on Spotify, which is weird.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because I just searched the song itself.
Yeah.
Does he not have the masters or something?
No, it was made like I'm pretty sure in like a low budget studio.
Right,
Like, it's just like so he had the Infinite LP, and then he had the Infinite EP, which had like different songs on it. And there's some really, it's just crazy because I'm a big Eminem fan. I think he's one of the greatest of all time. To be honest with you,
I'll agree with you on that.
And like just to hear, just to see that, it's like, okay, well, he was doing this thing before, then he got discovered, and it's like they found the shtick, and then you hear the Slim Shady LP, and it's like, okay, like, hey kids, you like violence? You want to see me stick 9 Inch Nails each one of my eyelids? It's like it's shock value, and it's good. You're like, I love that record. I love the Marshall Mathers LP, and then the Eminem show at that point, that was like 2003. He got linked up with like G Unit and those guys, and he got like, Eminem show was like way more gangster. Like it was like gangster rap basically, which is hilarious because he never did that before.
Did he write 8 Mile or did someone? He wrote it like. I'm like, I like that movie's good. I like that.
It's a good movie, and the fucking songs are so good.
There's a lot of weird
Lose
things
Yourself.
that happen in that movie that I'm like, oh, that's stupid. But then I go, that probably happened.
Yeah,
Like his friend shooting his dick off.
Yeah,
Or whatever. He didn't actually shoot his head, but that's like, did that probably happen?
Have you? Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Trying to act tough and shoot himself in the leg.
But have you heard the lyrics to "Lose Yourself"?
Yeah, does Mom Spaghetti? Yeah,
No, bro.
that's a song though, right?
Yeah, it's a song.
Yeah,
but like,
of course I've heard that song.
but no, I'm saying that. Have you really listened to the lyrics of the second verse? It's like it's fucking like the shit that he says is just like it's wild, bro. Like, how do you put these words together? Like these concepts.
I would have that song on my playlist. Yeah, I just don't like this song very much.
Or the 8 Mile song. The song just 8 Mile. Another one's like 4 verses and he just crushes it.
I'm very curious though. So like I'm like the chorus to me was like emotive. Did you get that at all or no?
Emotive?
Yeah, like
You guys know what that means.
Like it made me feel like a swell like in my stomach.
Oh
Like,
no, I didn't feel anything. No, to be
Interesting.
honest, yeah, I didn't.
yeah. Okay. Interesting.
I
Yeah.
just-
Billy likes LCD Sound System and
Love
Gary
LCD
Newman,
Sound
and that's
System.
it.
Yeah, I love Gary Newman.
That's it. Just that.
That's
just
not
that.
true.
Sorry, Disco Biscuits. He likes them too.
I love Disco Biscuits.
Yeah, and like that might be like
Happy
and
fun time
honestly,
music.
Like,
yeah,
here-
I like feeling happy.
Well, I was gonna
and-
say like here's the thing: if
good
you'd have
when I
probably
listen to
chosen
music.
like there's probably like 15, 20 different Eminem songs that like would not have done that for me, and I would have said no to. It's surely the fact that chord progression was like that cinematic, emotive, like dark thing. Like
I don't like the bell.
That's my shit. Like I like being sad a little bit. Like that. Like that's my vibe. Like
Yeah.
I'm depressing. Like if you listen to my music, I'm depressing as shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not upset about it. I'm not gonna try to be like I need to be happy. Like I'm just
Yeah.
like I'm content with like that's what I'm into.
I'm upbeat, and so is my music.
Well,
yeah. So like that makes total sense now. Though, like why you said no.
No,
Like, that
but
makes total sense.
Here
No,
in my car,
I'm about to fucking-
I feel
I'm about to do
safest of all. That's a banger.
About to do a deep dive on Billy's psychology here.
What's up?
I'm in for it.
It's gonna fucking hit him. You ready for it?
Here we go.
When, like people that like various styles of music,
Yeah.
like to just feel emotions, and music helps them feel the emotions.
Yeah.
Billy likes one style of music that's just happy and go lucky because he's trying to avoid all the other emotions.
Don't want to
Yeah.
think about it.
Don't want to think about it. So
Anything
just
else.
4 on the floor, synthesizers, fucking major chords, go.
Nothing's wrong in your life. Be happy.
Yeah, literally, that could be a Billy song right there. That's it.
Nothing's wrong in your life. Be happy.
And then, but like people that actually want to just live in their moment and experience their thing, like they like to listen to anything that's gonna kind of elevate that for them.
Hey, ask me what my favorite genre of music is.
What's your favorite genre of music?
What is it?
Denial.
That's not even a genre of music.
That's what the whole point that you were trying to make. That I'm like super. I'm trying not to feel sad because like every waking moment is just like my eyes burn with these tears, and I'm just
Yeah.
like emo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're just an emo kid
Purple Rain's pretty sad.
hiding in a fantasy happy land. Is what's happening right now.
It's a
Yeah.
denial. Yeah, for sure.
It's a denial.
Controversy. Also, Prince has
Now,
has-
was that
has-
a Prince record or did you use like Controversy?
the song itself?
Yeah.
I love that song. But like, do you believe in God? I'm like, oof. Do you believe in me? I'm like, I don't know, man. Controversy. Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah. His first two records were way better though, right?
Disagree.
Have you heard it? Have you heard his self-titled record? Came out in '78. It's just called Prince.
I don't think so. No.
It opens up with just like this beautiful a cappella thing. It's just like the crazy harmonies, and then it goes into like this fucking dope Stevie Wonder style kind of like arrangement, synthesizers and shit.
Thank God for the 80s.
It's fucking badass. And then all of a sudden the fucking 80s roll around and he's just like 4 on the floor, 1999, just the same. Nothing changes for 10 minutes. What are we doing here,
the
guys?
song is so good.
It's good for the first 2 minutes.
It's good for every
and then it just
minute.
never changes.
I wish it
it's
never
to your
ended.
point.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
never goes anywhere. It just sits there.
It does this, and somehow you're like, man, it's gonna go, but then they're like, we can't do that. Let's just land the plane.
You know what it's like?
Always peaking. I love it.
You know what it's like? It's like
it's
doing,
shot through the heart
Yeah,
the
it's like-
entire way.
It's like I'm pretty sure it's Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
what I mean.
it's like doing cocaine for the 5th time of the night.
Yeah.
It just doesn't go anywhere
It's
anymore.
an endless. It's
just-
an endless
it's over.
bag, is what it is. Yeah.
You're expecting some kind of reaction, and like, man, your dopamine is just already like tilted this way.
It's
and not
gone.
coming back.
We're fucking over it, bro. If I gotta
done.
fucking listen, if I gotta play that song one more fucking time in my life, are you kidding me? For fuck's sakes.
1999.
Yeah.
What you never play that song?
I play that
Do you
song
play that
many
song?
times. I don't, not in our set, but I've played it many times. Yeah.
I love that song.
And
Everybody loves that song.
The thing is, it's a really cool guitar part because like if you can really, the thing with Prince that he was able to do is like feel time in this way that's so unique.
That was Morris Day.
Prince played guitar, man.
What?
Anyways,
No, I'm saying Morris Day in the time.
okay,
There's a joke that went over your head.
way over my head.
Yeah. Sorry.
Intelligence.
Anyways, intelligence. Prince had this way of feeling time. It's like he was so on top of the beat, to a point where it's like I don't know how to describe it, man. Like nobody else really copped that funk feel the way that he did, and it's almost impossible to cop.
No, I
authentically.
definitely, like that's a weird thing, like that groove that happens with vocalists, especially.
Yeah.
Like, vocals are a hard thing to groove with,
Yeah,
and as a vocalist, it's like it's hard to like be on time, but also like not like be off time in the right kind of a way.
you want it to feel like you want to have like a flow to it, you
Yep.
know, and it's hard to like create that kind of that ebb and flow.
Well, especially because it's like then the other added part is like lyricism and like meaning of lyrics too.
Right.
Because again, going back to your point, it's like I don't want to just be like making like half-ass lyrics that are just sound good. It's like you kind of want it to have a meaning to some degree,
Totally.
right? But then it's like okay, a meaning of the song, the words that rhyme and feel like lyrics, and then also the delivery of those lyrics.
Exactly.
Because like if it doesn't have a good rhythm to it, then like it's poetry, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah,
that's what-
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like totally fine.
It's
Obviously.
Bob Dylan, fucking Bruce Springsteen. These
Yeah.
are guys just like even as much as
All
I love him,
emotion.
Paul Simon. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, totally good.
Yeah.
Love it. However, like to get that like funky, vibey, groovy feel, it's like you have to consider all three categories at once.
Yeah,
And, like
100%.
that's a different game.
And bro, like listen to that guitar part in 1999. This is what I will say. It's boom boom ba-da-doop, boom ba-doop. The way he's like so perfectly on top of
Yeah.
it, and also like the ba-da-doop, like that fucking hand motion. It's like ba-da-doop. Like it's so he doesn't miss it. Not one time does he miss it. Like to like, cop that part, it's actually really deceivingly hard. But when you play it for 10 minutes straight, it's like we're done here. Like we're good. We can move on now.
No, I
We've
feel-
experienced the moment.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Yeah,
You know?
it's just like it was a good thing for 2 minutes, and like the mentality was like if it's good for 2 minutes, then maybe 5,
Yeah.
8.
Hey, when we're all doing blow on the dance floor at Studio 54 in 1985, then it's great. But like you
Yeah.
know, whatever.
I think it was 1999.
Okay. On that note, we should get to unpopular opinions.
We should, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad because we didn't talk about like your studio very much at all.
Oh man.
All we did was
I don't
talk
think
about
that
music.
matters.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're fucking here doing it at the studio, which is a gorgeous studio.
Oh yeah, thanks.
And we're gonna do this here every Tuesday for
Every
free.
Tuesday for free for
and
$10,000.
For $10,000 an episode and exposure points.
Exposure points.
And so
Balance out to 0.
yeah, especially with our social media numbers.
I've seen the data.
You've seen the data. You go on YouTube.
We're a
yeah.
household name.
I have the facts,
You have the facts.
and I'm ready now.
So unpopular opinions. What you got, Bill?
Oh man, sorry. I just kind of forgot it. Give me a second.
Oh, for fuck! You don't write them down anymore.
I used to, but I used to write them down on my phone.
Where's your phone at? Oh, it's recording.
Hey everybody.
Right.
So you go first.
I'll go.
Unless you're just like crazy good.
No, I got it.
Oh
Dustin Monk is calling me. Should I answer it?
no.
Yeah, put him on.
On air podcast.
And I'll think of what
Dustin
mine
Monk.
was.
I'm doing a podcast right now. What's up with you?
Speaker, bro.
No, it's okay. You're on the podcast right now.
Oh, what's up, everybody?
Hey Dustin.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Yo, I'm good, man. I literally just got home from work. I just worked like a 12-hour day.
Bummer.
Call me whenever you have a minute. I was gonna holler at you some stuff about some stuff with the show. Whenever you got a minute to talk.
All right, word. I'll hit you up when I get out of here.
All right, good luck.
Bye,
with the podcast,
Dustin.
guys. Appreciate it. Later.
Bye.
Thanks, man. Bye.
Dustin.
Peace.
And that was Dustin
Dustin Monk in the hustle.
Calling in from West Virginia.
calling in from West Virginia.
Anyways, I saw him do it on a podcast recently. I thought it was dope as fuck, so I wanted to do it.
Are you talking about the two birds from a cave where
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great podcast.
Yeah, it's a great podcast.
his wife calls in and said, well, your daughter got kicked out of school for gambling. That shit was so funny. And then like right before it was like perfect time because all he was doing was talking about how much he loves his wife and his daughter and his two daughters and stuff.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
All right, so here's my unpopular opinion, and this kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier, just kind of reiterating. I think people conflate selling out with buying in.
You fucking
People
yuppie piece of shit.
People conflate selling out with buying in.
Yeah.
If I remember right, I'm being transparent here. Conflating means to like merge in a sense, right?
Yeah, like you like
Melding.
to like it means like the same thing basically.
Yeah.
People put that on it when it's a different thing altogether.
Hey, there we go. Check it out. What do we got here?
Conflate.
Yeah.
To
All
combine.
right. Cool. We're good.
Learn a lot of words today.
On the same page. Love it.
It's like Sesame Street.
Hey, you forget them too. I mean, like we use like what 500 words on average a day or 1,000 words on average a day.
I use
at
a lot
most.
of words a day. You should hear my
So-
songs.
Yeah.
Real wordy.
500 for
I
sure.
probably use like 500 in one song.
I 100% agree with that. I think like the idea of selling out is like a nihilistic approach to dismissing your own iniquities.
Yeah, totally. Not to say that you can't sell out because there is that barrier that we cross. You know what I
Right.
mean? But there's a difference between buying in and selling out. Selling out would be the distinction that I make is that if you're doing something for the sake of fame, purely that is selling out.
That's selling out. Yeah.
If you're talking about an experience that you haven't experienced before, or you're trying to put across a brand that you don't embody just for the sake of being famous, that is selling out. Now, playing the game to achieve certain financial goals is a different thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I think when it comes to money, changes immediately.
100%. But
Yeah.
I think there's a certain kind of narcissist out there, especially in the entertainment industry, that will do things just for attention. It doesn't matter. And obviously, with the fame comes the money. So that's just a thing that happens with it, right?
Yeah.
So and it's easy to say, well, the money. It's like no. I can tell based on how you approached this thing that you wanted the fame, and the money was just something that came with it.
Oh, I mean, like you can see that when like I follow people on social media that I've met on like doing runs for shows or whatever. I always hate saying tours because I'm just like I don't know, like if it's only like if it's less than like 15 dates, I don't know if it's a tour.
Ooh, that's
to
a
me.
great unpopular opinion.
I would
Oh
get,
shit, that wasn't supposed
No,
to
I
be
know,
that,
I know, but I'm just
I'm
remember
with you.
that one.
I would be a little bit more generous. I would say if you're out for a week, that's a tour. But if you're out
as
for
in-
4 days, 7 days, like 7
like
days,
literal 7
like
days.
literal 7. If you're out
How many
there,
shows? We talking seven shows?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And like we're
Alright.
talking like spread out over the course, whatever, like 500 miles or whatever. If you're hitting like the whole southeast over 7
Right.
days,
Man, a
Yeah.
lot of stipulations
that's
for
a
what
tour.
a tour is.
No, but like if you're doing a 4-day run through your state, this is not a tour.
It's not a tour. You're doing your weekend warrior, which
Yeah.
is totally a vibe. I get it. I love it.
Makes
Here
more
for
fun. So the weekend warrior thing, I want to push back against a little bit because I think that it does for bands that don't have support, like financial support. I think it just makes more financial sense to do it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
4-day runs, hitting big markets in your
Yep.
area, as opposed to like going out for 2 weeks with no financial backing and trying to sell tickets in cities you never played before.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
No,
You know?
totally. Yeah.
Especially these days, like those days of like just hitting the road and just building your brand, like that doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that is a viable model. However, I wouldn't call it a tour.
I wouldn't call it a tour.
Yeah.
And like at this point, like that's why I'm like very cautious of that to me personally. But anyways, I play with a lot of people in other states, and then I still follow them. That's what you do when you go to shows, right? You like oh, dude, let's exchange socials. Let's check
Totally.
it out. And you're like you're networking, right? That's
Totally.
the whole point of it.
Got
it's
to
like
network to get work.
Yeah, you got to network to get work. That's right. Yeah.
It's a good fucking
Yeah, we're
line,
gonna
bro.
hate
network
that.
to get work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but like I follow him, and I'm like, oh, you're doing this because like you're hoping that like some company's gonna grab this. Like I can tell that's what you're doing.
Right.
It's upsetting. So I'm like, I know you're a good musician. Like I played a show with you. Like play a chorus of your song and post that on social media, and it'll do well.
Yeah.
Don't do like the trendy thing that you're like, I'm trying to get the attention of somebody that has money.
Right.
And that to me is just like it's like panhandling almost in like a weird abstract way.
Well, you see this a lot in the comedy scene, right? So you have like the New York comics versus like the LA comics, and this is a West Coast East Coast thing without the guns and stuff, right? But like the difference being is that like you see the New York comics, like people like Dave Attell, right? Or Jeffrey Ross,
yeah.
people that are just like we're stand-up comics. Like this
Yeah.
is what we do.
Yeah.
We're just like this is how we make our living. Then you have the LA comics, and you watch their show, their stand-up specials and stuff, and it's like they're doing characters. You
They're
know
trying
what I
to
mean?
get a gig.
They're trying to get a gig. They're trying to get a TV show. They're trying to
Yep.
get into a movie. They're
Yep.
like they're working
Yeah.
on characters to sell, to pitch to a show, whatever it might be. Like, but it's granted some of it, a lot of it. Like I love LA comics. I love New York comics. But the difference being is like we're New York. We're doing comedy for the sake of the art of stand-up comedy.
That's what we're good at.
Yeah, exactly. We know that, and like they just like that's their thing. And a lot of those guys are poor, they're miserable, whatever.
Yeah.
But like we're doing this is for the art of stand up comedy. A lot of the LA crowd is like, oh yeah, I have this character that I can do. I'll do this accent.
It's a tool.
It's a tool. Like
Yeah.
Eliza Schlesinger, I love her. I think she's hilarious, right? But she did a stand up. Or one that came out a few years back, and she's doing like this character thing, and all of a sudden she's not blinking for like 2 minutes or whatever, right? And then she mentions the fact that she hasn't like blinked her eyes in 2 minutes. She's like, you guys see this? That's fucking like commitment to my character. I'm like, okay, it's funny, but like you just reveal what you're trying to do.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's like that.
Interesting,
Obviously,
yeah.
that's a very attractive trait as an actor, to be able to commit to a character like that. And that agents and people like that
Yeah.
are watching that and are like, oh, she hasn't blinked her eyes in 2 minutes. She's really committing to this character. She'd be great for this role, actually.
Yeah.
Do you ever
You know?
see like when people in New York, like at the Comedy Cellar, they'll try to do that where they do like the LA bit or whatever, and it's just like real chuggy and stuff. You're like, oh, I just don't
It just
like
doesn't
it.
work there. It's a different world, man. New
Yeah.
York is like the fucking blue collar,
What
like
what happened?
to make
What
you-
happened there, bud?
what happened?
Well,
what?
to make your point, Anton, Schlesinger has 5 specials and 6 series appearances, so you can tell which one they're really trying to gun for. You know?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
This is Eliza Schlesinger's page, or however the hell you say it.
Yeah.
5 stand-up specials
Yeah.
and 6 series appearances, so you can see which one they're really gunning for. You know.
Well, no, it's not which one they're gunning for. It's just what opportunities work out for them. You know what I mean? Like, it's,
Well, let's see. Actually, like look at the timelines too here. So 2013, 2015.
and look at her
2016.
film appearances, though. You know what I mean? Like, she's done a lot of films also. And the thing is,
Yeah, it was on your side that the
Yeah.
act is to lead into.
oh yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you,
that's what we were.
I thought-
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were saying that she's done more stand-up specials than
Oh no,
like,
no, yeah,
other way
like
around,
no, like
yeah.
the whole point is like that's her stand-up specials to her. Were, I'm not going to put words in her mouth or ideas.
It's her
or
elevator
mentalities.
pitch.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
And-
a stepping stone.
And look at fucking David Tell's record. That dude's barely got. He might have a couple stand-up specials. That dude's just out there just trying to be fucking
His
funny.
Insomniac show was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking. That guy is one of the best comedians of all time.
Yeah, he's really
Bumping
funny.
Legs was crazy.
Yeah, so good.
Look at the.
Okay,
let's
well,
see.
he's been around a long time. He's got some films. He's also in New York. That's gonna happen too. Whatever, bro.
He's from New York. Yeah.
I love how we. Yes, that's what I'm talking. Commit to the silence, guys. If you're an agent that's looking to book me for a movie,
Hey!
by the way, you saw how we committed to that
So
silence.
We
funny.
committed to silence.
We committed to silence.
We are great actors.
We're fucking phenomenal.
fantastic
What's
actors.
hilarious to me is like, is that you just been watching it the whole time back there?
A
Just
whole,
like
a whole
trying
2 hours.
They,
Yeah.
They've spent $2,000 back there.
Yeah.
And
This-
what's even better is it's logged into Billy's account.
I don't have an account.
You do now.
Oh,
Your credit card info is saved. It's in tight.
This
better win some money.
this
I lost
podca-
$50 on the Derby.
this podcast crashed like an hour and a half ago. They've just been watching NFTs
I wouldn't
race.
doubt it.
We want you guys to have a good time.
Who made the billboard again? I forgot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it didn't make it.
All right.
I remember mine.
What is it?
It's a lot less controversial. Possums are the cutest animal.
They're the cutest animal.
I think they're adorable.
Okay, are they just adorable, or are they the cutest animal?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that they're the cutest animal.
Okay. First thing, I'm gonna acknowledge a point to you, like to you
Look
that I value.
at them.
They're
It's
also the
adorable.
only marsupial in America, which is
Yeah.
kind of crazy,
You know
right?
what's
Not anymore. They released a bunch of fucking kangaroos out somewhere, like west or something.
I
In
was-
LA or
God.
what?
LA, yeah. They're
Hopefully.
trying to get a big movie.
But he means
yeah.
naturally.
Well, they're trying to get the population down in LA, so just releasing kangaroos.
It's gonna knock people
What's
out.
so weird that you said that is like I was trying to think of what it was, and in my brain, literally, like just 3 seconds went Donald Trump, kangaroos. Oh, possums. That's what it was.
Weird.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get the connection at all. to
There's
be honest.
nothing.
You know,
I have
nothing.
no idea.
Here's
It's impressive.
When
So weird.
My girlfriend is very ADD. But
here we go.
But she has a way of like when she like does random things, like she says random, she will take the time to explain
Yeah.
how she got there.
It's crazy.
And she and it when she explains it, I'm like, okay, I see how you got there. You didn't give us that.
No. It's like just a hamster wheel just going whatever it wants up there at all times. I know I have ADHD.
No, but you have like it's a wild form where you can't even explain how you got to that thought
I
process.
don't know how I got here.
It's
Convoy.
it's like ADHD. It's like people like their thought process just moves so fucking quick.
It's
But you can
annoying, yeah.
explain how it at least got there. You can't even do that.
No.
You're just like, oh, Donald Trump kangaroos, we're here.
Yeah, 100%.
Dope. Well, I do love. I think possums are very cute.
Yeah, me too.
They're not the cutest though.
What's more cute
I
than
mean,
a possum?
just any puppy.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, they
Any
are pretty
kitten.
cute though.
Kittens are they are cute. I'll acknowledge that. But they're not the
I
cutest.
had to word it in an unpopular opinion phrase.
It's unpopular to say they're cute. People hate them.
You know what's even cuter actually?
Me? Thank you.
Baby goats.
I've been waiting for you to acknowledge my
Kids.
attractiveness
Oh
for a long
man,
time.
yeah, that's pretty cute too.
Baby sloths.
Yeah, baby sloths. Oh damn, that's his baby sloth. That's
Oh,
adorable.
you should pull up a video of a python eating one of those.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Holy fuck, man!
I'm just saying.
Don't do that.
I don't want to. Yeah. Well, let's see it. Why
Let's
not?
see
Yeah.
why we're here, right? We're at the while we're at the bottom of the bill.
Yeah, like this is the bottom of the.
Now that's just
Ethics.
baby
Yeah,
sloths
exactly.
eating stuff. Don't they only eat eucalyptus?
No, that's
No,
a
that's
koala
koala.
bear.
What's the difference?
They're,
Oh, a lot.
yeah, well, it's a whole different species of animal.
Different continent.
Anyways,
Um,
I just think possums are
time.
really cute.
Okay, it's still unpopular.
Yeah, you know what? I'll stick
No,
by that. I
I
don't
mean-
think that's the cutest animal.
So I would probably say like a baby possum.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's go with that. That's a vibe.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to deal with an adult possum before, personally?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they
the Ghost
so
of
much.
Gilmore Street. I thought for sure my house was haunted, and it was just the biggest fucking possum you've ever seen in the middle of the night, just
Yeah.
walking around, not
It's-
giving
yeah.
a fuck that anything else existed.
I
but
mean,
himself.
like here's the thing though. Like, I don't dislike adult possums.
Yeah.
I respect them.
Yeah.
Like they're their creature. Like they got that powerful tail that's just like erect at all times.
I've had nightmares about those tails.
Those tails are fully erect. It's
Not even
impressive.
joking.
That's weird. I was gonna say though, if I could, I would have a possum as a pet for sure.
I dated a chick that had a skunk as a pet.
You can get skunks. Yeah. You get
But
their anal glands
Yeah,
removed.
Really?
But here's what I'll say, man.
They can't spray you.
It doesn't matter. They don't need to. Those things are fucking strong.
Strong?
That is a ball. That's just a fucking like a piece
Ball
of
of
matter. No, not even odor. Just muscle. It's just
Really?
solid mass. And their
Makes
claws.
the whole date rape Pepe Le Pew thing even creepier.
Yeah, I mean that cat had no chance.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Bro.
God, that's so fucked up.
Bro, the claws,
no chance.
the claws on this thing. First off, like insanely sharp. This is a not domesticated. It lived in a cage in her backyard, but like the claws,
Yeah.
so sharp and like the nails are so dense
Look up possums as pets. That'd be nice. I just want to see.
and just
He's trying to reinforce his unpopular
a
opinion.
firm body of matter there. I will say, just really, I was very taken back by how
Dense.
how dense
I've never
the
seen
skunk
a skunk
was.
before.
You're not missing much, but that's
Oh, look at that guy.
I want to see pictures.
a skunk.
Oh, you.
A skunk
No.
will fuck you up though, without odor. I swear to God.
Really? Look
Oh,
at
look at that guy.
hanging out with that lady.
Look at that face.
That's a horse girl for sure.
It's a giant rat. It is. I mean, they
Oh
are cute.
no!
Who gives?
Oh,
who cares
no.
about a possum? For those who are just listening, we're watching a
That's a
possum
No, they're-
family
they're looking.
pet,
on
dude.
a fucking wheelchair right now.
Yeah,
who
possum
cares
wheelchair.
about a possum that much? Are they that sentient
Did you-
that they have that much of
They're
a personality?
that rich.
They're that. Yeah.
Did you know
This is
po-
really in his
the-
fault.
Fucking starving kids in Africa. You bought your fucking possum a wheelchair.
all possums
Fuck
do all
you.
day is just eat ticks
and get
stuff.
hit by cars.
Hey, the
They're
poor
dumb.
you always have with
so
you.
cute. He's got him in a little. Oh,
that
that's
is kinda
adorable.
He's ready for bed.
Anyways,
kinda cute.
possums are cute.
They are cute. No one here disagrees with that.
What about
Anyways.
you, tough guy? What's your unpopular opinion?
Okay, so fun fact. I think I misread the first text, and I thought you said to have like two, one that was lighthearted, one
Give
that
us
was
two
soft.
of them.
Yeah, give us two. It's your place. You're basically.
This is my podcast now.
This
It's
is your podcast now. Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to my podcast. You guys have been great guests,
Oh,
by the
thank
way.
you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
You-
I'm really happy to continue on the brand of.
we're stoked that you're doing it.
Yeah, like I think it's the
even-
right move
I
for
even-
you guys.
You're doing a great thing for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I just want you to know. I want you to say that you're doing a great thing for our scene, and that you should be held at the highest regard.
Yeah.
I'm doing a great thing
You're,
for the city of Jacksonville.
you know, that was the least convincing that voice has been all night.
Yeah, you're not wrong, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't there. I was trying to do it too much, I think.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
you didn't commit to the part. And I think that every manager and agent that's watching this with your elevator pitch you just gave
I'm
right
done.
there, you're
I'm done.
You're nothing in this town.
I'm
The-
ruined.
The apex of entertainment in America, Jacksonville. You're nothing here anymore.
This drum kit is for sale.
Yeah, he's got to pay.
I need money.
He's got to pay his $16,000 a month rent.
It is $16,000 a month to rent this place, actually, believe it or not.
Well,
Yeah.
it looks really nice. Though.
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, like, the paint cost me $4 because I spent, $20,000 to, pay rent.
just
for
to
the-
exist in the building.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I walk in every day, I put $100 onto the, Anyways, so yeah, I did come up with two. I was like, okay, yeah, like, so lighthearted and a, serious, which again, went through the text. You never said that.
Yeah, I didn't say
You
that.
never said that.
I didn't.
I'm reverse gaslighting you here.
It's
Like, I can confirm you.
You know what? I just want to take the time to acknowledge and appreciate that you're doing that for me. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah,
I'm
like-
I'm Gen Zing it up right now. Just wanna
That's
say.
right. Yeah. Like I appreciate you acknowledging and appreciating what I'm doing for you.
Let's spend another hour just appreciating and acknowledging each other before we get to the point.
Yeah. People still care about that, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So my lighthearted one was I personally enjoy making my homemade ice cream more than actual ice cream, which is just sour cream, stevia, and chocolate powder.
Where do you
Sour
fucking,
cream?
Are you fucking Michael Scott from The Office? What are we doing here?
This is true, by the way.
What
Like,
was
this
it?
is not a big joke.
Sour cream is.
You know what I do? I'm gonna give you my roadmap.
Splenda and what?
I'm at Publix, right?
Yeah.
I go to the dairy section. I'm like, ooh, they got the nice sour cream on sale. pop a little quart of that down. Is it a
my
quart?
God.
Half quart? I'm not sure.
Could
Pint,
you
maybe?
could you sound a little older, by the way? just sound like you're 80 right now. How about that?
I hate
So
sour
I'm just
cream.
gonna get this off the shelf.
The best sour cream is on sale right now. Or what is it? Sour cream, right?
Yeah.
The best sour cream is on. Okay, continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
interrupt.
No, you're not wrong though. This is old man shit. I
Yeah.
acknowledge it. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna acknowledge that you.
Please, let's do that again. Did you head to the Nesquik section next to get your powdered?
Oh no, this
chocolate?
is what's that chocolate brand called? Is it Gilly? I can't say it. It starts with a G. It's like the fancy chocolates and like inside of the small wrappers.
Godiva.
I don't know.
Ghirardelli.
Ghirardelli. What'd you say? I can't pronounce it.
Ghirardelli?
Ghirardelli.
You're a deli.
Ghirardelli.
You're a
Ghirardelli.
deli.
Just the powdered version of that.
Yeah, like pure cacao, right?
Didn't. Ew. No sugar.
Sour cream is here, right?
Just pure
sour cream
cacao.
is here. Drop that in there, and then I take either like monk fruit or stevia. Sprinkle that puppy in there.
What's monk fruit?
It's a type of sweetener you can
Googling
get.
it.
It's very similar to like stevia. It's
So
a,
just basically, I'm just hearing not
it's
sugar.
It's a non-caloric sweetener. Is that a good way to put it? That,
It sounds
across the
awful,
board.
but yeah, it explains it.
I only drink aspartame.
Oh God, I would never
I'm
touch
not
that.
lying.
Yeah. So stevia and Jesus, why'd you get that in my brain? Aspartame, that cancer stuff? That's ridiculous.
It
Literally,
only
he-
causes cancer in rats.
He just drinks DMD and eats M&Ms. That's his diet, literally.
Peanut M&Ms.
Diet Mountain Dew is
It's been
DMD,
a
by the
while
way.
since peanut M&Ms.
But anyways, I would just simply like take those ingredients, mix them together, and then put it in my freezer for like 30 minutes, and then pull it out, and it's delicious.
Really?
don't believe
Sour
you.
cream? Ugh.
Sour cream pound cake. You ever had it? Sour cream pound cake.
No.
No.
You never had that? What?
Where are
never
you
mind.
from? Like fucking like Pennsylvania, in the middle of like you're in an Amish community or something. You ever
sounds
had
like
fucking
a-
sour cream pound cake before?
That's a Wisconsin thing, I'm sure.
That doesn't make. Oh, they're like cheese curd.
They
buns.
like cheese over there. They're
Yeah,
cheese
cheese
curd.
curds.
They're cheese curd buns.
Wax-
waxy
cheese
or
is made out
fried.
of?
Either one.
Cream.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Cheese is made out of cream. I thought it was like rotten.
Well, no, you could
milk or
argue.
something.
I mean, like all cream, or all cheese probably comes from cream. All cream comes from milk at some point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like I think it's like a subset that kind of travels down.
So it's like a chicken or the egg
Cottage
kind of
cheese,
situation.
That's disgusting.
chicken
though.
or the egg would kind of.
Yeah, no, I'm just being a dick. I'm just trying to be right.
Yes. So you're saying I'm correct on
Yes,
this
you're
point,
saying
right?
it's a chicken or egg kind of thing. I got
Yeah,
it. We
like,
move on
yeah.
now.
I understand. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Oh,
know what's
man.
happening.
Carrie made fun of me so hard. I said, "Kitchen is it? It's a kitchen or egg situation."
Oh, that's tight. A kitchen or egg situation.
Kitchen and the egg.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it's honestly like I enjoy it. It's not super sweet, but like it's creamy and it tastes good. And like if you leave it in the freezer, it's garbage. Straight up.
Oh,
like,
that only then.
it's terrible. No,
Yeah.
but like honestly, besides that, like you taste it. Like I've had multiple friends taste it that aren't into like. I'm also kind of into healthier things. I don't look it, but like I also run and exercise a decent amount.
You look like you're in shape.
Okay, yeah. I want to like pop this puppy off.
Do it,
No.
bro. I mean, don't. As my girlfriend can't watch, but
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell her to turn away.
No, but like I'm definitely nowhere near where I should be. But anyways, but like I try to eat
Have you
relatively
seen Billy?
healthy.
Anyways, couldn't help myself. Sorry.
Woo! That's funny.
Welcome to bottom of the bill.
Yeah. I don't know. I just I enjoy it personally,
Okay.
Well, it's
and I
fuck-
want you to try it.
Yeah, it's fucking
cheap.
weird.
Hey, I
It's
will.
fucking weird.
I will try it. If
It's cheap. It's a cheap experiment.
next Tuesday you make some for us, we'll be back.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? I'll do a delivery.
There we go.
No
yeah.
problem doing
No,
that.
Fuck yeah, we get fucking free studio space
Mix it
and free. I don't even know what you call it.
Yeah, what do you call it?
Free Amish ice cream.
Okay, so the original name is actually Keto Ice Cream. It was made by Dom D'Agostino, who's like the leading keto doctor that like initiated the program for I think the Navy SEALs, maybe something like that.
Oh, wow.
Or it was utilized by the Navy SEALs, and he kind of like cultured it into being something that it is now. But anyways, so that's my lighthearted, unpopular opinion.
So would you argue that the lifestyle of a Navy SEAL is one that anybody would want to be like partake in?
Actually, no, it's funny. The only reason why they use it is they have like the device is called a rebreather for like long-term scuba diving missions, and so they like rebreathe their own air, so there's no bubbles up top. The problem is when you do that, some people have seizures from it.
Yeah, it's
Seizures
breathing in
underwater.
It's like yeah,
Yeah.
you're breathing in too much carbon dioxide.
If you're on a ketogenic diet, it doesn't happen.
Really?
So like SEAL teams, especially that are ones that do like long-term scuba diving missions, it's required to be on like a ketogenic diet so you don't have a seizure underwater and die.
So you're saying that bread is a cause of global warming?
Yes, that's actually. I'm glad you brought that up. That's why I do what I do. Honestly,
I know what. Just more power to you, man.
Yeah,
So what's
I thought it came from methane from cows, which is where you get sour cream from, right?
that's right. Yeah, you actually milk the cows from their. Yeah, no.
all right? So what's your heavy?
My actual one.
Yeah.
And I hope this does not catch any flack. If it does, I'm more than happy to have conversations.
And
in
we
person.
will take the views, honestly.
Yeah, like we'll have a discussion. I think that number one, people that say DIY don't realize that everything is DIY. And number two, I think the DIY community does more harm than good for the actual up and coming musicians.
Interesting. I would love to hear your perspective on that.
I bet you would.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm speaking specifically of the culture that has developed in probably the past 10 years around DIY. I have a hard time with.
Okay.
I will acknowledge in the Gen Z
When you start
vibe.
doing it? Like
Yeah.
within 10 years? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm speaking of like DIY shows, like house show vibes, like
You
fuck
should go. You should go
promoters.
to our YouTube page, Chris, and see what the header says. Anyways, keep going.
I just feel like, for me personally, like what I experienced is like I looked at that community from afar because like I started, you could argue DIY. I recorded my first record in my closet. That's how I learned how to do Pro Tools and how I got the studio. Was by myself, just figuring it out. Right, like that's DIY. Would you agree? It's DIY.
Yeah, 100%.
100% DIY. I'm here now. I never went to school for this, and I'm doing this now. That's how it happened. It's DIY, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I see then the culture about like 5 years later of what is being classified as DIY. And so I go, hey, I'm DIY too. I want to be in that community. I also will preface this by saying I'm speaking more specifically to the Jacksonville, Florida DIY community that I'm experiencing.
Jacksonville, Florida, representative of the entire United States and the world.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, like, again, this is anecdotal.
Yeah.
Like, this is my experience with it.
Okay.
I will say I've had a couple of other experiences in, like, places like Kansas City that have been great to me in the DIY community. Places in Iowa City that have been garbage to me. Chicago that I really hated one time. Another time I really enjoyed. Madison, Wisconsin, I've had great experiences and bad experiences with the DIY community. So
Sure.
this is all definitely like nuanced, but I would say the overarching culture that like people identify as like that's DIY, which I think now you can kind of argue is like either like the soft emo or the like the pop punk of our current Gen Z type vibes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about those, not necessarily the act of DIY. That's different,
Right.
Because like I know what that is.
I see what you're saying.
Because I do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a culture, basically,
Yes.
that's kind of like hijacked the name.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
like, oh, we're DIY because we do it this way, and like we also like act like pieces of shit at shows and act selfish as hell.
Yeah.
And also like my feelings are more important than yours, and also like I'm DIY, and that's why I'm doing this, is because like I'm trying to look out for myself because I'm a DIY musician.
Okay. I haven't experienced that.
Yeah, me neither.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
well,
that's
But I also don't exist. We haven't operated in that.
Hang on. Go back to that. You don't exist?
oh
No.
boy.
Well, we don't.
Reptilian conferred.
We don't really operate in the world that, I'd consider what we do DIY. Like, everything is self-produced, everything is self-funded, everything
Your
is
own money, right?
Yeah, it's everything like that.
It's actually DIY.
It's actually DIY. Now, if there's a culture, it's kind of like the same thing with the Gen Z crowd's kind of like hijacked the term like
Yep.
woke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
and then
Yep,
there's like
same
this
thing.
this idea of like, okay, well, you have to acknowledge this, and this in this specific way, or you're not actually progressive, or you're not actually this.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would be
Yeah.
an example of somebody doing something DIY that it's not?
It's not
that
actually
you-
DIY.
Yeah.
Okay, so a good example is like these bands that will like put on shows, right? And like they'll have a show they put on, but then the reality is that they've got somebody like in their band that's in another band that's like doing well, and so they're like, "Oh, it's a DIY show," but we also promoted it like on our actual Instagram page or something like that. And it's like, okay, well, like it's DIY, like for sure, like you did it yourself. But then at the same time, it's like, what's different about that than like a normal band, like any time ever? Like every band has started DIY at some point. But then it's like you're using that tag of like it's DIY, we did it ourselves as a branding point.
Yeah.
And which is fine, but like it is, I feel like in the past, especially like the past 4 or 5 years, to be honest, it's become manipulated to the point of like, it's kind of like the rap battle sort of thing. It's like, hey, we can end you
Yeah.
in 5 minutes on an Instagram post if we want to.
That is-
if you don't get on this train, like we can end you in 5 minutes because we don't like the way you talk to us at this show.
That is a much broader
Yeah, I've never experienced
problem
that.
though.
That's
No,
weird.
that's totally right.
because
Really?
no,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
but that's
Oh, jinx.
That's not just the DIY cult. That's like the representation of like the Gen Z.
Who have hijacked the DIY culture, in my opinion.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's like that goes across the board, like in any spectrum, whether it's music or whether it's politics or whether it's whatever.
Yeah, you could say that,
It's
yeah.
like if you don't do it this way, we will end you. And to the point where it becomes like they cannibalize
Religious.
themselves. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's very dogmatic, and they hold each other to a standard that they can't actually live up to themselves.
No, definitely not.
Right. And then beyond that, there's a commitment to the lifestyle. And we noticed this when we had our friend Mike Ciro. He's a promoter over at Underbelly in 1904, and he works really heavy in the metal scene and in the punk scene. And we were kind of asking him like why bands in that scene like don't ever make money. I mean, there's 10 bands on one bill, and
Right,
promoters
yeah.
they seem to like always kind of screw them. He's like, it's not even about that. There's a commitment to the lifestyle. Like if you're gonna be punk or you're gonna be metal, like you're going.
that's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing, and you're gonna struggle. And if you succeed, you're kind of disowning the brand.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
there's a commitment to that struggle and to that lifestyle that if you start to exceed beyond that, you're kind of like abandoning them.
It's like the crabs in a pot of boiling water kind of mentality.
Right. Right.
And so like with that, I'll say like for me in my personal experience in the community that I like was advertising themselves as DIY, it was just a name front for like, let's have shows that we get drunk at and like, play, which
So-
is totally fine. Like I'm down for that. Like if that's your intention, if you're super content with just like, hey, me and my boys are going to play a show at our house every other month and like have fun, great. But don't pretend like the whole establishment is against you because you're doing this DIY scene.
Now it just clicked in my head.
It's
Okay, I
it's a
get it.
commitment to the lifestyle, like to the point where you're
Yeah.
not even like acknowledging that there's a different way.
It actually circles your point too of like,
Selling
like
out and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like no, I'm buying in. Like so what? I'm trying. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Like I want to put time into this. Like I put this artwork out. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's cringe. Like, no, man,
Right.
this is like, fuck it. I'm gonna be cringe.
Back in
like,
our
let me
day-
be cringe. I'm
back
gonna
in-
do it.
Yeah, we used to call them posers.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah, but I would say they were
Shake off some dust a little bit. Yeah.
but
Poser.
I would say
Poser.
Yeah.
the people he's talking about aren't the posers though. Like we'd be the posers.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and
When you
Come
said,
on, man. Get with it.
that was the most ridiculous like '90s as if face you could ever make.
know.
Yeah. Now when you
Fucking poser.
when-
No one said, bring back poser. No one says that anymore.
That's a good unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
When you said DIY scene, I was actually gonna turn to Gene and have him comment on that because I know he comes from that world, right, Gene? Not come from that world, but I mean, I know that you.
Yeah.
In what
no.
world do you
your
come
toe.
from?
No.
You dipped your toes.
Oh, I definitely did. I had two different, like, I had in two different houses that I was having shows. But for me, it was a lot about just kind of like what you were saying of just like, I had a bunch of sound gear and I wanted to just have shows in my house because it sounded like a lot of fun. So like,
Which is totally cool, right?
and yeah, that's what I did. But I interacted with a lot of what you were talking about, and it got to a point where it was just like, especially towards the end of it, like a lot of what brought like a lot, and especially that a lot of that scene kind of like died out, especially because of COVID. It just
Yep.
that nothing happened. But right before that, it was like we were even just starting to not want to do it anymore, just because it was too much. Like it was
It's
very
tense,
yeah,
right?
it was very intense. There was a lot of people that felt very kind of like,
Authoritative.
self-righteous or,
Yep. Yeah.
whatever.
Self-righteous.
It was weird because it was its own bubble, and it felt like it had like like hierarchies.
Yep,
Like there's
yeah.
people that were definitely like, oh my god, like that's
That's the
for-
end all
like,
be all.
Yeah, it had its own different yeah.
It's so funny. It's the same thing. It's just representative of the far extreme progressives too. I feel like it's the same
Yep.
kind of culture.
Yeah.
It's like you can't do this way or that way, and you have to do it this way or that way. And if you don't, then you're just a fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what?
And and so I would probably say to self-correct myself to some degree.
That was redundant.
To self-correct myself, you're right. It is.
Sorry.
It is to self-correct yourself. Self-correct. Yeah.
You could
No,
just
you're
say
right.
self-correct.
Yeah. To self-correct.
Whatever.
That's that. There's that private school education.
That
work for
private
ya.
school education shining through.
Praise the
Thank
Lord.
God. Well, homeschooled. You can't forget. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real private. You want to talk about a bubble? There you go.
I'm definitely in an echo chamber my entire life.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the people that have hijacked the DIY community, changed what that definition is to be what it is now.
Right.
And so I'm acknowledging, as a somewhat of a realist myself, more optimistic realist, I would say.
I really liked what you said earlier, though, about I think DIY is a really weird, it's it doesn't make any sense because anything could be a DIY. I like when you said it was definitely just pop punk, that
Yep.
I almost think underground is a better way to fit it, or just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, do you know what I mean? It's just a small
premature.
subsect, but it's always that pop punk indie type of music. That,
100%.
very into God, what were the bands that were really popular? Mom Jeans and
Yep.
Fucking Dinosaur Jr. And,
Yeah.
Dinosaur
all-
Junior. They're old as hell though.
Yeah, but they've been around.
what was
They were
the- I can't
under
remember. But anyway,
underground for a while.
Yeah.
It is that kind of scene, through and through. So
Yeah, and it's I love those shows. They're great to do those kind of shows.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed them, and they benefited me. For sure, they benefited from me. But at the same time, it was I'm always on edge because it's if I piss the wrong person off, again, they can kind of decide oh yeah, you're done in this town kind of
Yeah.
thing. And I don't like that authoritative, if you want to get big eventually, you want to come up to the top level, you have to go through our DIY scene and match all of our parameters before we'll let you get on these big shows.
Yeah.
And it's if you bypass that, they're going to try their hardest to
big shows,
a
bigger house.
Yeah, a bigger house.
Yeah.
They're gonna try their hardest to be oh, does he fit the mold? If not, shut him down.
It's I just feel man. It's so I feel this is not to rag on. I hate the people to rag on the next generation type shit. But it is because people did
Y'all
it.
need to learn.
No,
all right?
it's not even that. It's
Back
not,
in my day.
Yeah.
it's not that at all because we're fresh out of that. People were the millennials fucking this and that whatever. Now the Gen Z is coming to the point where they're all adults. But Gen Z has done something where they've hijacked meanings of culture, groups of culture. And they've shifted the narrative to a point where people that identified as those things before no longer identify with those things, and because they pushed it to such an extreme, the people that were on their side before are no longer on their side.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's politically, that's musically, that's just across the board.
I mean, even to the extent of what I'm doing here at this studio right now. I look at myself as DIY.
Yeah,
but I don't record any DIY bands here.
Do they record?
They do record. That's the thing. And what's funny is I feel they probably record in studios, but it's because I'm attached to a commercial building and I pay insurance and I pay
You're not at a fucking shack in someone's backyard.
yeah,
or something.
all of a sudden it's oh no man, you're corporate. It's no, dude, I'm fucking doing this myself.
Yeah.
This is DIY. I'm doing my own accounting shit. In between sessions, I'm okay, I got to do all this stuff and figure it out. It's that's DIY to me.
Yeah.
I think it's just not fun being poor in your 30s. It really fucking sucks.
So is it just
Yeah.
bitterness?
Yeah, it's just I don't want to be part of that DIY. I want a fucking car with air conditioning,
Yeah, it's just-
or a house with air
You just
conditioning.
gotta fucking. It's just at some point, it's just time to buy in.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yes.
is,
Yeah. And so it sounds to me that you and I have a very similar unpopular opinion here.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely do. Yeah.
For sure.
I definitely scared you a little bit with like the definition of DIY.
You did, because I definitely identify as like a DIY artist, like through and through, because there's
As
no
I do, yeah.
there's no financial backing. There's no
Yep, there's no
like,
record label behind you. There's no like
there's nothing. I mean, there's no booking agent. There's no like we're doing all this shit ourselves. So it's like so when I hear that, I'm like, okay, what? And but then
I clickbaited you for sure.
You did, and then you accurately described something that's that's kind of like a permeating culture as a whole.
I'm scared
beyond,
of it, honestly. Like for the music community, that's what I'm saying is like up and coming artists. I'm like I feel for them because like they feel like immediately out of the gate you have to have a narrative that you understand. You have to have a sound that you understand. Like what happened to going and playing like coffee house open mic things where it's like do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Like there's still some out there. Like I think Rain Dogs does a great job of doing that, and like other places in Jacksonville do like a great job of doing that. But that used to be like when I was starting, like I at this point, like literally 10 years ago for me personally, like 10 years ago, which is a decade, right? That's a valuable amount of time. It was very different. Like I could go to 9 or 10 places in a month and go play open mic nights and like express myself, aim, shoot, recalibrate. Like that song didn't do well for this reason, whatever, but not for any other reason beyond the music itself.
Right.
No personal relationships were involved. It wasn't like, ooh, this person and I didn't get along, so I can't go do these house shows anymore.
Right.
Like what? No, that's bullshit.
It's the same thing in the comedy world too, like the alt comedy scene versus the mainstream, or not even mainstream, just like kind of like, are you playing like clubs? Are you doing open mics at like established places? Are you getting spots at the Comedy Cellar or like at the Comedy Store, or are you like playing? Or are you performing at a fucking laundromat on a fucking Wednesday afternoon?
Yeah, or some county fair in Iowa.
Yeah, it's just like and for a lot of people, that's the like for a lot of comedians in that world, like that's the thing. It's like and the alt comedy is not really so much about comedy as much as it's about trying to like make a like a point, with kind of like a I guess a funny perspective, because it's making fun of the mainstream culture, but at the same time, it's like it's really more of like it's coming from a place of bitterness and not from a place of comedy.
Yeah, it's like a jovial resentment.
That's such a great way. Yeah, exactly. That's like the best way to describe jovial resentment. And
maybe a good band name. I don't know.
That's a great band name. No, he doesn't like that.
Fine.
Maybe a good album name. I don't know. Jovial resentment.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's a good album name.
It's just like it's too deep.
It's too deep. So yeah, Billy doesn't like.
Big time banana wine.
He's in denial about everything. He needs to
like that's too heady. Maybe
it's way too heady. Yeah, he needs. There's no thought.
I also feel bad like digging into you because we've had like how much interaction at this point, and like not much interaction. So I'm not gonna like.
You guys have been making fun of me
Case in point.
this whole time.
We can sidebar.
I'm dense.
Well, all right, let's wrap this up, bro. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, your place is amazing. Thank you so much for our emergency podcast.
Yeah,
Emergency podcast.
No, that's a good name.
because fucking Billy's house turned into Satan's taint again.
Wow, that's such a weird way to say
That's it, but it's so good, though, right?
It's pretty hot.
It's pretty good, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure if you guys got any recording needs, production needs, whatever, come to Pine Studio.
Yeah.
Fucking Jacob's the man.
Yeah.
And he's letting us do this for free every Tuesday. Can you guys believe that or what? It's just,
Every
what a
Tuesday.
nice guys. Exposure points all day.
Small
Nice
$10,000.
guys.
It's crazy.
I love it. It's great. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in.
Adios, muchachos.